Hello, welcome. It's Sunday Fun Day. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It's a great time to be alive. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful time to be alive. Embrace who you are, love who you are. Do not accept anything less than the best. Say yes to life. Say yes to abundance. Say yes to love, joy, peace. Just say yes to living an abundant life in every facet, in every area of your being, of every area of your existence. And so on my screen is not arguments. They're declarations of truth. That the Bible is mind science. It's a manifestation book among many others. You'll get cosmology, astronomy, astrology, neurology, anatomy, biology. You get all the sciences found in script, mathematics, right? Mathematics is a science, correct? Yes, it is. You'll also get phallic instruction where it appears to come from the male perspective, but it's not about gender at all. It's about consciousness. It's about awareness having two aspects, which is the conscious and the subconscious. John 14:6 is about you. I am the truth. I am the way. I am the life. No man, no manifestation comes to me unless the Father within me draws it. And the Father is my awareness, my consciousness, my beingness, my knowingness. That's what comes into my experience based on my assumptions about my self-concept about who I say that I am. And you need to say that I am the truth, I am the way, and I am the life. You give life to situations by giving your attention to what much people will call frequency, vibration, right? Or energy. You energize life through what? Energy and attention, focus, vibration, frequency, all saying the same thing. So with that being said, no, we are not sinners. We are creators. No savior needed. You're the solution to your problem. Solution is always found within. Therefore, no, Jesus never existed because Jesus is the archetype. Jesus is the personification of the awakened mind of a being who knows who they are. When a being knows I am, that's who Jesus is. I am and you are. All right, which makes you God, and which makes you the consciousness, the awareness that is the creator of all things. You are the whole experiencing itself as a part. So in this life, you do have to decide what it is you want. You get to choose. I said before you this day, good and evil, life and death. Choose life that you and your seed may live, that you may flourish and be exceptionally great in this dream of life. So what do you want? Decide what you want. Remain faithful to it and know that it already is. And with that being said, there's only one law, and that law is love. You could say it's the law of assumption, the law of belief, the law of being, the law of knowing, but it's the law of love. That's the only law. There's only love. There's only good. There's only God. There's only I am. Well, no, you are not God. You could say you're not God and live your life accordingly. Yes, I command the waves. If I'm near a wave, I can command it. Yes, I can tell the rain. I can tell the clouds when to rain. Yes, I can. Yes, I can feed the birds. Yes, I can. Yes, I am. The fact that you don't know you do it is the issue. Hey, 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 warrior. I am the consciousness, and so are you. But just because you don't know it does not make it untrue. You are the consciousness that is. This world only exists because you do. If you didn't exist, then your world will cease to be in existence. Hey, 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 fresh air. Happy, happy Sunday. Grand Rising Warrior, how are you? It's okay if people can't see the light. It's okay. Light came into the world and the darkness received it not. But that's okay. That don't mean you dim your light just because other people feel uncomfortable within it. Remember, there is no other. There's only I am. But you let your light so shine. Because light was never meant to be hid under a bushel. It was to be set on a hill that all could see. I am the truth. I am the way. I am the life. There are as many worlds as there are people in the world, because no two people live in the same world, because no two people perceive the world the same. So what are you seeing in your world? How do you see your world? Do you see the beauty that is, the love that is, the joy that is? How awesome do you do, as Neville Goddard would say? Do you say within yourself, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Like, do you say that within yourself when you arise in the day, or do you get up complaining about yesterday? Because you believe in yesterday when you need to say there is no yesterday, there's only now. Or do you complain about yesteryear when there is no yesteryear, there's only now? Do you walk in trepidation of a future event that has never occurred? Because there is no future, there is only now. Because you let your mind go run wild as rambling sheep without a shepherd. Do you know that you are the good shepherd and you are to what? Lead those sheep. Lead the sheep in the way they should go, which is your thoughts, that they don't fall off into a ditch. But when they do, you leave the 99 behind and you go get that one that has strayed off the path and bring it back in. Say, oh no, we thinking this way today. Today we thinking this way. We're going this way. We're going down the straight and narrow road. This road is straight and narrow. It be few that find it. Because broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Oh, there are many that find it. People love love Broadway. They love the Broadway. They love the broad street. But this way is narrow, straight and narrow. No crooked turns, no winding roads. It's straight and narrow. You read it. I dare you. Yes, I am the Lord. Every day is the Lord's day. Every day is the I am's day. Say what? I dare you to read it and understand it and translate it with the fear mongering. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? I heard rapture. Have you heard? I mean, rapture. Fresh air. Have you heard that there's supposed to be a rapture taking place any day now? I saw that on my FYP. Someone sent me a video saying that the Christians are now talking about a rapture again. What's going to happen when it doesn't take place? When God doesn't call his people home, what are you going to do then? When you're still here? I'm like, we still talking about raptures. People still thinking they're going to be caught up in the ethers, going to be caught up to seventh heaven. I'm like, that's still a thing. It's like when you are no longer a Christian, the Christian narrative, the Christian doctrine kind of boggles the mind, because you be like, what? Y'all still trying to prophesy future events that never take place? You know the rapture happens within you, not outside of you. The rapture of love is within, not without. Oh, you heard about it, Fresh Air? September 23rd. I thought so, because somebody was saying, you know, when September 24th rolls around, and that's only in a couple of days, right? What's the date? Y'all better get, as TDJ say, y'all better get ready, get ready, get ready. Okay, that's in 2 days. 2 days. I don't see how Israel would say that, since Israel doesn't believe in the Christ. Like, make that make sense, Adam. You're talking out of the side of your neck, or you don't know the truth of Israel. Israel doesn't believe in the Christ. And the rapture is a Christian narrative, not Judaism. Judaism's still waiting on their Messiah. You Christians believe in the Christ as the Messiah, and only Christians believe being caught up in the rapture of love. Do you not know that? Do you not know that Israel don't even believe in the Christ? Come on now. Like, do you even study, or you just regurgitate what you hear in church? Like, say that's Tuesday. I know. Terrific Tuesday. It's gonna be Thirsty Tuesday for some people. And when did this supposed prophetic rendering even take place? Like, it is so interesting. It's so interesting. No, but you're blind. You're so blind you cannot see the truth that's hidden in plain sight. Oh my goodness. And then trying to say that's not us, that's them. Oh no, it's you. It's Christian. That's not that's not Judaism. They don't believe in raptures. They don't even believe in hell. So that's a Christian narrative. That's a Christian doctrine. I used to be a Christian, so I know. I used to watch those movies Left Behind with Kirk Cameron from I want to say Family Ties. It wasn't Family Ties. He was part of. What was that show he used to be on? Kirk Cameron. What do we do? Show me that smile. Oh, show me that smile. Don't make another minute on your crying. We're going near. The best is ever to begin. As long as we got each other, we got the light in our hands, baby, rain or shine, all the time. We can. Oh, right, because Jesus returns within, not on the outside. It's not something that happens on the outside. Growing pains, that's it. Thank you. Growing pains. Hello, Alicia. That's it. Growing pains. Thank you. Yeah. You should take it as a compliment, because I'm not sitting around waiting on a savior, waiting to hoping for escapism. Instead of dealing with your problems, you rather deflect and project and blame others for your issues in life. You rather blame a devil, you rather blame a demon, and as opposed to blaming yourself. Blame yourself. You the only one thinking the way you think, and then you got the nerve to call it a devil. Then that makes you the devil, because you're the only one thinking it. You're the one think these crazy thoughts. You're the one lusting if you think lusting is an issue. You're the one coveting if you think coveting is an issue. You're the one jealous if you think jealousy is an issue. You're the one hating if you think hatred is an issue. You're the one having these thoughts, yet you want to blame others. How convenient. You don't want to take accountability for your own beliefs, for your own lazy, stinking thinking. If you didn't have lazy, stinking thinking, you wouldn't be trying to have a savior. You would command life as opposed to being a victim of it. Oh, the Bible most definitely supports what I say. It doesn't support what Christianity says. Double tap the screen, 10K the easy way you get to come up and have your say. Double tap the screen, 10K the easy way you get to come up and have your say. Actually, the Bible absolutely supports what I say. It absolutely supports me. Absolutely, with no doubt, supports me. It absolutely does. It doesn't support support your narrative. Your doctrine tells you that you're a weak, lowly being that can't do nothing on its own. That's always seeking for help and needing something outside of itself. That's not what the script says. The script says you have power and dominion over all things, but you gonna tell me how you don't have no power and you're in need of a savior. That you're a weak being. When the Bible says, "Oh no, you don't even have the spirit of fear, but the power and love and sound mind," but you don't operate in your power. You're always talking about the limitations of your flesh opposed to the power of the spirit. Can you please display the power instead of complaining about the weakness? That's all I hear from Christians. I'm weak. The devil. It's demons, it's devils, it's Satan's oh my. It's demons, it's devils, it's Satan's oh my. My flesh was weak. My flesh is weak. My flesh is so weak. I always succumb to my flesh. I don't walk by the Spirit because those that are led by the Spirit of God. Oh, they are the sons of God. So I know you're not led by the Spirit. I know you're none of His because you don't even know how to operate in the power. You operate in the flesh. And those who operate in the flesh are none of His. Only those that operate in the Spirit, which means they never fulfill the weaknesses of the flesh. So yeah, I know that script. You don't know it. You don't apply it. You don't live by it. But I do. By the power. I don't walk around talking about low is me and playing victim. Oh my goodness, life is so horrible. Like going to do these people, they're so evil. They're so, woe is me, woe is me. Nope, I don't live in that world. I don't live in that world. I am the Ark of the Covenant. Hey, I am that I am. Welcome. I am the evidence. Oh, no, you are a sinner. Speak for yourself. We aren't anything. You are. You have to confess that you are a sinner in order to be a Christian. I'm not a Christian, so I'm no sinner. Ain't no wee up in here. Wee beaucoup? Yes, very good. Oh, can you give me the 10K the easy way, please? 10K the easy way, you get to come up and have your say. Double tap the screen. No, not all are sinners. That's not what the script says. The script says all have sinned. Stop changing the script to fit your narrative. It doesn't say all are sinners. It says all have sinned. Not the same. You are not defined by your choices. Your experiences do not define you. No, you cannot sin against the law of Moses. I am Moses. So are you. I am the law. I am a law unto myself, says the script. I am a law unto myself. So yes, I am a law unto myself. There is only one law, and many of you don't know about it. You talk about it, but you don't know it. You espouse it, but you don't know it. You have the form of godliness, but you deny the power thereof. And the power that you deny is love. You deny the power of love because the power of love is the only transforming power. That's all there is. There's only love. But you always talk about fear and limitation and doubt, and you complain and woe is me and victimhood. You don't walk in your authority. You don't walk in your perfection. You do not operate in your knowing. You want to argue about the limitation as opposed to the power. Can you talk about the power? No, you want to talk about the limitation. You want to be the devil in this story. And you get to be. You get to be the deceiver, the father of lies, the doubter that's been lying since the beginning, saying that things are impossible. What is keeping the commandments? What the heck do that even mean? I am the commandments. Do you not get that? I don't keep anything. I am. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? You thinking about how decrepit this world is, how messed up this world is? You get to have those thoughts. You get to have those thoughts. I'll let you keep them. My ways are not your ways, and my thoughts are not your thoughts. We don't share the same mindset. Your mindset is in limitation, and my mindset is self-empowerment. Self-love is the only love. The greatest love of all. It's easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Oh, I don't share your misery. That's where you don't know love. That you think someone shares your misery. You share that. You have that misery. You don't get to speak for me. You speak for you. So clearly you live a miserable existence. You don't have to, though. You can choose differently. You can actually do what the script says and choose life. But you would rather choose good and evil than choose life. Even though your script tells you, I said before you on this day, you get to choose good or evil, life or death. And the recommendation is to choose life. But no, you'd rather choose death. You'd rather choose misery. Well, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Again, you don't know your script. Again, you don't know your script, or you know it, but you don't know it. Like you can regurgitate, but you don't actually live it. You don't actually apply it. You just talk a good talk, but you don't walk the walk. No, you need to learn to read. Reading is not even a thing. It's a knowledge that's key. Wisdom. Who cares about reading? Know yourself. You need to know thyself. Reading and messed a lot of people up. Instead of put a book down and go within. How about you go into your own closet? How about you commune with thy own self upon thy bed and be still and know that I am God? Put the damn books down and go within. Get to know yourself. Oh, I don't study the religion. The Bible is not a religious book. I used to be a Christian, so yes, I'm well acquainted with the belief system of Christianity. But the Bible and Christianity are not the same. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. No. Christianity and the Bible, they not like us. The Bible is one thing. Christianity is a whole nother. It's a whole nother animal. It's a whole nother beast. No, you have willful ignorance because you want somebody to live in the dumpster fire with you, Nick. I'm not living in the dumpster fire with you. You get to have that though. Go live in the dumpster fire all by yourself. Hey, Duke. Oh, you're a psycho. Now, all the time, Christians like to stoop to name calling because they're so loving. They're just so loving. As if you're speaking of yourself when you talk because you're the only thinker in your reality. So guess what? Whatever you say, that's what you are because you're the only thinker. Nope. I said you called yourself a psycho. That's what I said. You probably don't even know what the etymology of that word even means. Because we are not defined by our choices. We are not defined by our experiences, London. Your religious indoctrination told you that you were a lowly being in need of a savior. The Bible says that all have sinned, not that all are sinners. Not the same thing. The Bible actually says that you are a place of power, a being of love, and a being of peace. But your religion would tell you you're a sinner. Yeah, make that make sense. Because you weren't given a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. Why you operate as a sinner and not a person of power? And I think that Christians be a little confused, because if you're a believer, would you not be a sinner anymore? Because aren't you supposed to see yourself as a saint now? And you just want to point the fingers at others and call them sinners, because you're supposed to be a saved by grace, which makes you a saint, right? So you're not even supposed to see yourself as a sinner anymore. Even though yet you will confess to keep sinning, you will continue to sin, yet not call yourself a sinner. You'll call yourself a saint. So you're a little double-minded there. And then a double-minded man is unstable in all their ways, says James. And that person should not think that he will or she will get anything from the Lord. That's why a lot of y'all prayers go unanswered, because you're double-minded. You don't know who you are. You think you're a sinner. And so you beg and plead for God to help, and God just sits back and just watches you. And is waiting for you to get up off your knees, to stop begging, to stop pleading, and to start commanding. But as long as you plead and beg and be on them knees, oh, those prayers will never get answered. They fall on deaf ears. Your prayers never reach up to heaven, because heaven is within you. Heaven is a state of mind, and it's a changed mind that brings about a changed life, says the script. Because you're not to be conformed to this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You don't want to change your mind, though. You just want to point fingers at others, but you don't want to fix you. You don't want to change you. You don't want to change your stinking thinking. You want to tell everybody else how they're wrong instead of changing you, instead of pointing the mirror into you and doing like Michael Jackson says. I'm starting with the man in the mirror, and I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Yeah, if you want this world to be better, then you be better. But no, you don't want to be better. You just want to point the fingers at others and tell them how they're messed up and not see where you're wrong, where you've erred from the faith. Yeah, so what prayer is that? What you praying for that your prayers get answered every day? I really need to know this. What prayers are you requesting? So are your prayers selfish? Because you know you Christians don't like you like to say you're supposed to be selfless, which your prayer should not be for yourself. It should be for others. So are you praying for the world, Adam? What are your prayers? The inquiring minds would like to know, what prayers are you requesting that's being answered? Are they all about you? Which I ain't got no problem with that, because I feel like the prayer should be all about you. But your doctrine would say otherwise. Your doctrine would say your prayer should be for others and not for yourself. But hey, if it's for yourself, I'm down with that. I just know that goes against the Christian theology. Your prayers ain't supposed to be about you. Your prayer is supposed to be about others. And you're telling me every prayer that you request about others get answered? Is that what you're telling me, Adam? Like, really? Really? I would question that. I would really question that. But hey, it's your story. It's your story. I ain't got to believe it, but you get to tell it. I don't have to accept it, but you get to tell it. And then maybe it will become a reality in your world. Keep saying that your prayers get answered, and that may be really a reality for you. Because the more you persist in a thing, it becomes a fact. But I would really like to know, what prayers are you putting forth that's being answered every day? I don't have to read anything. Here we go with the trying to insert authority. You don't get to dictate in my world. You don't get to dictate in my world. You read what you said. All this trying to tell somebody else what to do. You know, you got that bad. You got to tell yourself what to do, not tell me what to do. Now, if you ask me to read, is one thing, but to tell me to is a whole nother thing. Asking it shall be given, but telling me, oh, you got life twisted. You in the wrong room. I do what I want to do, not what you say, but what I say. And I don't believe Adam is being honest, guys, but hey, it's not what I believe, right? It's what he believes. But I need to know what prayers is being answered every day by Adam. Because I truly don't believe he's being honest about, what he's praying for if he's a Christian. Because I know Christians, supposedly are supposed to be praying for the healing of the world, yet the world goes unhealed. Says their narrative, Hey. Oh, hey, Lily. Oh, you changed your name. Hello, how are you? Yes. Yes, Bri, yes. You have to choose it. Something you have to want. You have to choose it. Yes. blame it on the ends of days. Hey, Goddess D. Oh, there is no evidence that Jesus ever lived. Only in the minds of Christians is there evidence. There is no evidence. There is no historical evidence. Absolutely not a one. I know you would like to reference your church fathers and says because they put it on paper, that makes it so. Yeah. There are other deities with the same narrative as the Christ, the same story as the Christ, but yet you don't believe they existed. They have the same born of a virgin, turned water into wine, died and rose again on the third day. Same narrative, but you don't think they existed. You only think that this book is historicity, but you don't think any other book is history. You see, all the other books is mythos, but you want to make this book be the one and only true word. I get it. I used to think the same way. I used to believe that Christianity was the true, that the God of Christianity was the only true God. I used to think the same way until I stopped thinking that way. Until I didn't. Until I started, too many contradictions in this book. Yeah. Too many contradictions, and then the excuses are, you gotta have Jedi mind tricks, because anytime you tell a Christian what the book says and it goes against their narrative, you're reading it out of context. Oh, really? The only parts of the book you don't think are out of context is when it calls you a sinner, but when it calls you a God, it's reading out of context. When the script tells you that you're a God, is reading out of context, but when the script says that all have sinned, you think that makes you a sinner. Really? But the book telling you you're God, you don't think that makes you God? But because the book says all have sinned, you interpret that you're a sinner? No, because sin only means to miss the mark. That's all it means. You have missed your aims and goals in life. And at any time you get to hit the mark, at any time you get to claim your inheritance, you get to, reach your goals, you get to reach your aim in life. All you got to do is think differently. All you got to do is change your mind, which is repentance. That's what repent means. Repent, for the kingdom of your good is at hand. Repent, have a radical change of mind. Change the way you think about yourself. And when you change the way you think about yourself, you will see the doors open. And the thing is, they were always open. You were just self-imprisoned. Now you can be self-freed. You can free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow. I wear the clothing. Hey, high heel shoes. That doesn't mean that I'm a prostitute. No, no, no. Free your mind. Yes. Is that the elliptoth? Is everyone and everything. God is all. Hey, hey, Delissa, Grand Rising. Oh my goodness. Oh, people just want you to subscribe to their low concept of themselves. You know, they're operating in shame and guilt, condemnation, regret, and remorse, and they want you to live in that space. And when you don't live in that space, you're the problem. No, you're the problem. You're the one operating, even though your book says there is therefore now no condemnation. But here you are, you want to condemn people every chance you get. Your script says, condemn not, and then you won't be condemned. But no, you go roundabout pointing your fingers at people and shaking your hand at them and say, repent, repent. You don't even know what repent means. You think repent means to say, Jesus, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Oh, I did it again, Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus. I won't do it again. Oh, I did it again. Oops, I'm sorry, Jesus. Please forgive me. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. I won't do it again. Oh, if you take this, if you just bring me my man, I'll be okay. If you just give me that woman that I'm lusting after, I'll be okay. Oh, please, Jesus, please forgive me. Oh, I did it again. You think that's what repentance is? You ain't had no change of mind. You just feel sorry for yourself. Because you got the I can't help it. And that's okay. You can't help it. It's okay. Just admit you can't help it. And stop apologizing. Stand 10 toes down. Just stand 10 toes down. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. You like doing the thing that you're doing, so that's why you keep doing it. You really not sorry? Because why you keep doing the thing that you feeling sorry about? Who does that? Hey, Tama, how are you? Grand Rising, what's up, Knowledge? How are you? No, you have a sin nature. So it's actually called the carnal mind. That's what it's called, the flesh. And it's talking about being led by your five senses. The carnal mind means to be led by the five senses. That's why Paul says we walk by faith and not by sight. We don't go by what the five senses is telling us. We are led by the spirit, by the unseen, not the seen. Do you not even get what your script is telling you? You're supposed to see beyond the physical. That's why the Bible is metaphysical. It's a spiritual book. It's teaching the unseen, not the seen, because the things that are seen are not made by things that do appear, says the script. Out of darkness proceeds a great light. Do you not get that? This Bible is not about the physical. It's about the spiritual. It's about the mind. Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and then the Word becomes flesh, becomes something that you can see. But what can you not see? You can't see a word, a thought, until it what? Materializes. Your dreams are thoughts. Your desires are thoughts, and you can't see them until they manifest in form. Jesus ain't to perform any miracles. Yeah, that's all your Bible talks about is the mind. As a man thinks in his heart, you do know that's the mind, so is he. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by how? The renewing of what? Your flesh, the renewing of your head, the renewing of your butt, being dipped in water, in a pool of stagnant water, or to be renewed, be transformed by renewing what? The mind. Put off that former conversation and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Yes, because it is by your word that you are justified, and it is by your word that you are. Yeah, it's a mind game. You know, it's a mind game. Bruh, 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 bruh. Yo, goofy ass. Yo, goofy ass. We goofy together. We gonna be goofy together. We'll be goofy together. No, he didn't. He said it's your faith that made you whole. Did he not say that? It is done unto you as you believe. What would you have me do? But if you didn't believe it could be done, then it wouldn't be done. That's why your prayers don't get answered, because you don't believe that it can happen. That's why Jesus don't do a miracle in your life, because you don't believe that miracles are possible for you. So they're not. It is your faith that makes you whole. Gotta have fun with this. Stop taking life so seriously. Loosen up. Hello, Albert.
Hello, Prosperous. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy fun day.
Yep. I should say I'm not a Christian, so I don't know if you bring
Oh,
up
yeah,
the.
this is not a Christian platform. This is deconstructing from Christianity. I just tend to get a lot of Christians in the beginning. It kind of
Oh, okay.
wanes off as the day goes on, and then I speak more to, manifesting the desired life that you want. That's really what this platform is about.
So yeah, I'm already how do you call it? An agnostic atheist, so I'm not sure if you're having conversation with just people deconstructing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, so it's cool. Then maybe I'll just be in the comment.
I mean, I talk to whatever's on your mind.
Yeah.
As long as no one's preaching at me, I'm good. As
Yeah.
long as I'm not
Okay.
being told, as long as you're not trying to convince me that I need to be a Christian, I'm good. I
Yeah.
speak to Christians. I speak to everyone. Whatever's on your mind, you get to.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. Cause um talking about the Bible is mind science,
Yes.
okay?
Hmm.
Um,
Have
like
you
some
ever
kind
heard
of
that perspective?
psychological stuff. Like, what do you mean by mind science? I don't know.
That is telling you what happens when you think. When you think a certain way, you have certain experiences. Your
Okay,
choices define your experiences in life. And it
right.
all starts in the mind.
Yeah. I'm always interested. I don't know if you're comfortable enough. I'm interested in understanding how, like, the triggers behind deconstruction. Like, is there was this for you? Was there like some kind of a um what's the journey like? Like, were you originally born into a Christian home, or you just never had that experience?
No, I wasn't born into a Christian home. I became a Christian in my late 20s. I was almost 30. I was about 28, 29
Okay.
when I became a Christian. And when I joined the church, I married a preacher, became a Sunday school teacher. And then I started
Wow.
discovering that there were contradictions in the script. And so that took me down a rabbit hole to question, the Christian narrative. I started looking into other denominations, what made them differ from the denomination I was a part of. I even went down the road of atheism, because atheists definitely will point out for you where you can find the contradictions of scripture, right? And they'll. So I was studying, and we'll say like the early 2000s when we only had AOL. I probably was using the Yahoo search engine at that time.
Wow.
And yeah,
Okay.
so and so they were saying, oh, the Christ is saying this, but the Pauline doctrine is saying this, and it would align the two scriptures. I was like, oh. Yeah, they do seem to be opposing to one another. I can't remember what they were because, again, that was almost 20 years ago. So I don't necessarily remember what those
Oh,
contradictions
sorry,
were.
I'm having a call.
And then in 2018, I came across the law of attraction, and then the law of assumption. The law of assumption is where I started seeing that the Bible is mental, is psychological, and not a history book. And so that just made so much more sense to understand that the Bible is talking about when you think a certain way, certain realities take place in your world. And once you decide to think differently, your life starts to change. But we know that just without the Bible, right? Psychology will tell you that, right? That's why I call it a psychology book. But your therapist, your psychologist, your psychiatrist will tell you, that just think better of yourself, see life from a different perspective, and your world will change, right? We know that. We have evidence of that. So once you start to see different, if you stop seeing yourself as this lowly creature, that can't think for itself and has to be told how to love, be told not to do wrong, be told you don't need to be told to do the right thing. You inherently know is when you're told that you are this depraved individual, and you can never get it right, and everything that you do is wrong, and no matter how good you are, you'll never be good enough. If that's all you're told all your life, aren't you always living a life in limbo, a life of being unsettled, and always questioning your choices?
Oh,
Where's your
that's
husband? Because I have one. I have
what
an
do you want to
amazing
do?
husband. Go ahead, Albert.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it was this movement from being you said a Sunday school teacher to becoming a. So, what was like the main trigger? Like, was it a contradiction, or like what was it? A combination of multiple things? Like, what is your belief system at the moment, and how did you transition from
Well, like I said, when I was a Christian, so the ministry that I was a part of, they started like making the Bible more of a gray area. And when I was a Christian, I was more black and white. Either God is for or God is against. Like to me, there was no gray area, and they were starting to like going to like this gray area. They were starting to call sin character flaws. And I was like, character flaw? That's an interesting way of putting sin. Okay, I was like to starting to question that. And then I went to a minister's wives get together. And when I left that minister's wives get together, I had this urging to look up uh this well-known prophetess in our community. And when I looked her up, it came back that she was a false prophet. So that's what led me to start seeing the contradictions and everything. And then I kind of left Christian. I left that church, went to another church. So I was at a predominantly black church, and then went to a predominantly white church, and they were very different. So the predominantly black church was all, you got to be saved, hell, fire, if you don't, you got to pay tithes and offering. The predominantly white church, they didn't collect tithes. Offering was free will. They weren't in church all day. They didn't believe in the gifts of the apostles. They believed the gifts of the apostles died off with the apostles. So they didn't believe in laying hands on the sick and healing, and during the different gifts that were said to go along with those of the Christ's apostles. So that was a completely different shift, even though they both claim to say that Jesus, was the savior of the world, and, died for all the sins of the world. The way they taught the ministry or believed in what the Bible was saying was completely different. I was like, this was interesting. And I almost joined that church. But at that time, I was seeking a divorce. And so I wanted to know what their perspective was on how God saw divorce. And they, again, were operating from a gray area. It was like, well, it depends. It's a case by case scenario. My,
yeah.
my thing at that time was still, well, God is black or white. Either he's for it or he's against it. Where is this gray area coming from?
Yeah.
So then I kind of just left church all alone.
Cool. I mean, yeah, this the whole Christian and religion thing and all of this, I don't buy into it. I think, yeah, I think the much of the I would I think what you're referring to mind science, which is kind of like psychological. I think it's that kind of stuff. Like, you know, there's so much psychological manipulation in the Bible and all of that.
Yeah, I say the Bible is all about your mind. It's about my mind. It's about consciousness and existence itself. So it's telling you when you think a certain way, right? So it says, there's one script that says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So it's what you think about you is what you're going to see in your world. So you're going to create these experiences based on how your self-concept. So, some people have a self-concept that, they never do anything right. They always do anything wrong. They live by Murphy's Law. What can go
Yeah.
wrong, will go wrong, have this very depressed outlook when it comes to life. Or some people live in, anxiety. They're always concerned about the future, which never happens, which never comes, but they operate from that state. And that's a state of fear, where I see the Bible teaching a state of love. When you operate in love, when you operate in truth of knowing who you are and that all things are possible, and you don't actually have to know the how of the thing, you just have to. This is where faith and belief comes in. Faith isn't about believing in a being dying 2,000 years ago for the sins of the world. Faith is about, I see myself as this being, but I don't know how I'm gonna get it right. So, like, maybe you have an entrepreneur, you have a business, and you know in your heart that this business is going to be very successful. You just don't know how it's going to be very successful, right? You don't know the amount of clients, you don't know who the investors will be, you don't know necessarily whatever. You may not know every step. You may have certain steps, right? There are schools of thought that says when you start a business, you have to go get a business loan. But everybody that starts a business does not need a business loan, correct?
Yep.
Some people buy businesses that's already in effect, and the older generation has decided they didn't want it anymore. Some people take over businesses that way. Some businesses are passed down, and some businesses that start from scratch and don't have any source of income, yet it becomes to be very, very profitable. That's faith. That's what
Yeah.
faith is. Believing in yourself.
Cool.
That's all. Just believe that the thing that you desire can actually be a part of your reality.
Yeah. So, like, at the moment, like, are you like, do you identify as whatever spiritualist and an atheist?
I don't want to put any. I don't want to categorize it. At first, I was saying spirituality, but I moved away from the label. I just say I
Yeah.
am. I am whatever I say I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not, because to me, when I was making it a spiritual, when I was putting it in a category or labeling it, I found myself leaning into that whole religious mindset again, where things have to be this way, and you have to protect yourself against something, and you have to have this operating in this 360 type world where no, nothing is out to get me, and I'm not going to live my life as though it is.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, to me, it's total freedom when you know who you are, when you stop operating from this woe is me, the sky is falling type mentality. And that's where religion, and the world in general, if you watch the news, the world feeds you that type of concept too, that the sky is falling, that there are enemies on every side, and you have to protect yourself from the enemies at large. And, I just don't operate from that mindset anymore. And so you as an agnostic, or what you call yourself, an agnostic atheist, what does that mean?
Just 1 second. Let me just get something.
Okay. I am a spiritual being having a human experience, but you get to define life however you see fit. Right. Murphy can keep his law. I don't see a
Okay.
request. Oh, Malachi must have left because I didn't see a request. So can I accept his
Yeah.
request? I don't see a request up here. Maybe you left.
So okay.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
maybe this was agnostic atheist. Well, I tend to use quite two labels. So the first one is agnostic atheist and a naturalistic pantheist. So these are like big words and whatever. But basically, the first one, agnostic atheist, is basically just like I I do not know if God exists. However, I don't believe that and therefore I don't believe that he exists.
Okay.
And then the like the naturalistic pantheist just simply means I believe that the universe is sacred enough to be labeled as God and all of that. And what I think the Abrahamic God and most gods in other religions, those are, for me, those are like psychological invention, like what you describe as almost like mind science, whatever. They are like concepts or concepts in people's head, right? And there are reasons why these beliefs people came to believe in spirits and everything. There are psychological predispositions that our ancestors had to imbibe because they had to survive in the savannah and all of that. So there were these um, something, for example, like something called agency detection. That's a psychological predisposition that makes humans always think that there is some kind of spirit, there is some kind of agent behind events that they at first that they don't understand. For example, our ancestors, when they first experienced things like volcanic eruption and lightning and thunder and earthquakes, they did not understand the science and the physics behind it. They didn't know what caused it. And so that the assumption was that there are spirits, the spirit of the land, the spirit of the air. And that is the like stage one of the kind of mindset that consequently leads you to believing that there is some kind of one God, which is always so the idea of one God is good for building an empire. And so if you look at the history of belief systems and the history of the world, you would see that Christianity comes on board, very effective in helping to build the Roman Empire, even though the Romans had persecuted Christians initially, but eventually under Emperor Constantine, Christianity is adopted as the Roman religion, and the same thing with Islam, etc. So there's an evolution of how different societies adopt religions and how there's an evolution of gods from spirits to gods. So these are human tendencies. That's how I believe. That's what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So to run parallel to that, to me, the Bible is depicting that the mind of man is God. That is not separate, right? So the reason why the things happen in this world because the mind of man conceives it. And if the mind of man didn't conceive it, then the things that we do to one another couldn't happen, right? And then you
Yeah.
have the consciousness that is. So the consciousness that is, which is not separate from the mind of man, is congruent. It goes together. It's not opposite. However, it is that mechanism or that machination that is the reason for the sun. It is the reason for nature, right? It is the reason for the thunderstorms and for the plants to grow and for the things that are quote unquote not created by man, right? It's an expression of that infinite intelligence that is resonant in all man, which is why we have the sciences, which is why we can understand who we are through studying nature.
Yeah. There's so
So it's
much
all
we can
connected. Yeah.
understand from studying nature. Science. I have a science background myself,
Oh, okay.
and so which is partly one of the reasons. I mean, there is my personal experience. Because I've lived in different countries, so like Muslim countries, in Europe, and in America, and Africa. So I've witnessed all kinds of cultures and different belief systems, and and I have a science background. So I studied medical science, so human body and systems,
Okay.
and engineering, because I'm an engineer. So physical systems like physics, chemistry, and biology, and all of this, and 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 I also read. I read a lot. So I read about politics and about philosophy, human psychology. And so when you put all of these things together, it becomes so clear, so apparent to me that these the whole concept of God and religion, these are like man-made construct and
Mhm.
invention. But unlike the normal inventions that we know, like the television and the airplane and all of that, the God is a different kind of invention, because it's not like people sat down and said, let us invent God. People actually sat down and said, let's invent some kind of television, something that you could, look at images, or maybe the phone. It would be good to have to be able to communicate with someone, even though you guys are far apart. Is there a
Yeah.
device that we can come up with? Okay, maybe that's how it got started. But the idea of God wasn't like, let us sit down, let us invent some kind of being so that we can worship that being and all of that. It was driven by the need to survive. So and also due to some psychological predisposition. So think there are aspects of humans, as humans were evolving, they needed to survive in groups. Humans tend to survive more in groups because we're social beings. So we seek group identity. We belong to a community, cultural identity. So humans used to live in groups of 150, the hunter gatherer groups, they used to call them, from anthropology. And among those groups, there was a need to maintain harmony, social cohesion, and harmony of that group. And as a result, in order to maintain that, they began coming up with like ethics and values, and consequently, those ethics and values had to be codified. And also, people, when some of our ancestors again witnessed natural occurrences, and in an attempt to control, in an attempt to understand where humans came from, what is this, why is the ground shaking, why is the ground vibrating, that's earthquake, they don't know about plate tectonics. So what is this thing? So the normal answer was to assume, well, maybe there is some kind of spirit, some kind of thing, agent doing it, but we cannot see it. So it's in a different realm, they call it, in the spiritual realm. And so this kind of mindset is what starts off this whole chain of gradually, bringing on board spirits. And so there is the first belief system, the traditional beliefs called animism. It's still practiced in many areas in Africa, maybe in Europe as well. Is this belief that trees and things contain spirits in them, like, spirits everywhere. And consequently, we have monotheistic religions like Judaism, Islam, and Christianity that sort of codifies, brings, has the claim that there's just one God, and this God is in charge of everything, supersedes everything. And so this is how I see the evolution of all of this. And I am trying to engage, have just like, yeah, trying to have conversations with people, and letting them know that these things are just, they're man-made. In as much as we're social beings, they're man-made, and there are ways in which we can seek, there are values, humanistic values, that we can appeal to, because consequently there are issues around witchcraft, right? People are still in aspects. I'm originally from Cameroon.
Okay.
I live in the US right now, but there are places in Cameroon and perhaps in other African countries where, if Nigeria specifically, especially in Nigeria and other countries in Africa, I shouldn't say just Nigeria, where there's still this idea of witches are being, persecuted. People are being accused. Quite often, elderly people are being accused of practicing witchcraft. And just recently, I think last week, two people were sentenced to 2 years in Zambia for practicing witchcraft, for trying to use witchcraft to unalive the president. So it is happening now. They just look at the kind of thing that could come up from this kind of superstitious belief about believing in witchcraft and all of that. So you have real world consequences, and in many areas, in Africa, there's still high level of homophobia, which is highly influenced by religious texts. Most religious texts have this tendency to 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 sort of discriminate, or to sort of just say that a relationship is just supposed to be this way, one man, one whatever. And so the followers of most of those, especially I would say maybe Christianity, Islam, they tend to be homophobic, tend to be very discriminatory against LGBT members. And so there's that aspect. And there are other positive aspects of the whole thing, but I think by and large it's highly it's negative in my opinion. And for me, people have to realize, in a way, ye are God. Like, just from the prompt that you have, yeah, there's a way that in a way ye are gods. Yes, I can buy in that, because of the fact that I think that humans, in a way, nature is so sacred enough to be God itself, right? So the combination of nature, humans, you, I, plants, tree, animals, and the river, everything. The when you understand the science behind this thing, it becomes almost like a miracle. But it is not a miracle. It is a series. It's a series of events that have unfold
Yes.
in terms of, some of them have, quite often it's something called serendipity. So serendipity is this stumbling upon something by mistake, by accident, right? The universe, it's the case that the universe did not set out to invent humans. It is likely that humans came on board through serendipity, but there have been chains of events from just the so-called the position of the Earth. That is, the Earth is at the right. It's called the Goldilocks zone. It's not too close to the sun, and it's not too far away from the sun, because if the Earth orbit changes gradually, the Earth cannot maintain life. So there's so many events that have happened to make life on Earth possible. Even the fact that you and I, we are here, we are, for us to be here as humans, we had to be one of the close to 100 to 300 sperm cells from our father's sperm that fertilized the egg. So for each ejaculation, every ejaculation that happens when a man has sex with a wife, contains between 100 to 300 sperm cells. And in that 100 to 300 sperm cells, just 300 million, 100 to 300 million sperm cells. That's the range. And in that number, just one sperm cell consequently fertilizes the egg cell or the ovum from the woman, which forms the zygote. So this is like, you see the race starting. You're just one in that millions. The sperm cell that fertilizes the egg that consequently gives rise to every human being in the world right now. So that's where the whole thing starts, and then the changes, the gradual changes. So there's so much to be to be grateful for, and to just enjoy life for. But it is not the case that humans are invented or humans are created by anything. It's a series of natural occurrences, fully explained in science and other aspects of life. Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, so I wouldn't I can't touch anything about science. So I just go with what I have personally experienced with my mind, which is also
Okay.
science. With psychology is a science, and I just apply what I know and I confirm it with my experience. See, I say God is the mind, and you only know your mind through application of it, through experience of it. And you are only limited by your conception of yourself. And so the evolution of, that we want to say, of the human species, however we want to deem it, who was the first, because to me, religion tries to fill the gaps where our human intellect feel like there are, right? So we're like, well, who were the first humans? How did we get here? Who were the first? It had to be a first. And we just have this insatiable desire to know. And so God or religion fills the gap of, well, I can tell you who the first two people were, Adam and Eve. Like, really? And how would you know that? And really, you really gonna tell me that, a fully human body brought forth another fully human body from a rib, and it only happens one time, and it only happens in that book?
Yeah, I mean that's typical example. Those are like we call them mythical stories.
Right. That's what I say. The
they're
Bible
myth.
is
Yeah,
mythological, and it's talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
it's talking about the mind. So I would
exactly.
say, so you will probably be able to bring it out more because you have studied biology and chemistry and anatomy and all of that, about Adam representing the atom and Eve representing the splitting of the atom, the electron, the RIB. That's what that story is referring to. It's not talking about two actual beings that existed in time and space, however many years ago. I mean, Christianity would say 6,000, but really you think this world is only 6,000. So, well, okay. But see, I used to think that. I bought into that narrative because, you're seeking for answers and you just feel like you don't know them. And yes, unfortunately, our educational systems aren't really trying to teach the real science. The science is
Yeah,
very base level, and you do have to go to higher educations to really, and you actually have to want to know that part of science, right? You have to want to know
exactly.
chemistry and anatomy and biology. Now, I did take anatomy. I took a course when I was going to be a nurse. Did I retain that? No, because I didn't become a nurse. So, I'm not going to, but I didn't, because that didn't become my field. It didn't become something that I wanted to know more about, right? Once I
Yeah,
let go that I wasn't going to be a nurse, I let that field of science go.
yeah. I
And
mean,
so,
science is okay. Yeah, indeed. I myself, I left, even though I studied those things. I was gonna become a medical doctor, and I studied medical science for 3 years. So that's how I got to learn about all of this, the anatomy, physiology, biology, all kinds of medical stuff, like deep stuff about medicine and human systems. So when I left that, and I still, because I'm interested, I'm still interested in science, so I still sort of understands understand what those things are in a way.
mhm,
um of course, I'm not a doctor, but I do understand those things.
right.
I'm an engineer, so both systems. Now, my I wanted to say something before that. What was the connection? um yeah, so many things in my head. um yeah, there's some on the science issue, the humans coming on board. Yes, there are aspects that science can explain in terms of how humans came to be. There is evolution in biology. um Even the whole concept of, I mean, different religions have different mythical stories about the creation, about how humans came to be, because they don't understand these books were written thousands of years ago by people who did not really understand even basic science, like 101, right? So these are stories, like very, very, how can you call them, naive stories, just stories of, anyone can come up with that kind of stories. Kids can come up with those stories. So, and what religion does is, religion is so quick to provide simple wrong answers to fundamental questions. So very simple, and this is why it's so easy. Very wrong answers, and very quick. It gives you. It doesn't think. It says, "Voila, this is the answer. Take it." And if you like, who created God? Humans. God did it. Final. Full stop. How did this happen? God did
Yeah.
it. Full stop. You don't have to think. It's
Yep.
yeah, finito.
Don't question
Yeah.
anything. Take
So
it by faith. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So you don't get
And when you
to
start to
understand.
question, then you're the crazy one. How dare you
Yeah.
question God? Excuse me?
Yeah.
But but I'm gonna bring Nathan into the
Oh
conversation
yeah,
here.
Nathan is around. Hello, Nathan.
Good morning. How
Good
you doing,
morning.
Albert? Miss
Yeah.
Prosperous?
Great, great. How are you?
Doing great. Doing awesome. Doing awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. So real quick, let's just say that. All right. um creation as it is told in the Bible is incorrect, right? And everything, was done through evolution and whatnot. Um, if like, wouldn't you think that there would be like right now like another evolution of like our species, especially, or like animal species or things like that?
Yeah, Nathan, evolution is still happening, right? So evolution is a gradual change, a
Okay.
gradual change. And we as humans, the typical lifespan of a human is like, let's just say 100 years. We cannot, at the level of multicellular complex organisms like humans, chimpanzees, dogs, and we cannot in that lifespan, and even in 200 years, we cannot see any major morphological anatomical change in a human. But we can in simple organisms like a bacteria, it's possible to see evolution in the bacteria. Take, for example, there's something in medicine called antibacterial resistant drugs, right? So these are antibiotics that bacteria have, quote unquote, learned how to resist them. So those antibiotics are no longer effective when you apply them on that bacteria because those bacteria have adapted, they have evolved. They have evolved to have protective mechanisms that resist those antibiotics. So that's a good example of evolution that we're able to see that because the bacteria replicate very fast. The lifespan of a bacteria is like 20 minutes or whatever. It's very short. So just in 24 hours, you can do the math and and so in 24 hours you can a single bacteria can see it can be around with its great. You can do the number of great grandparent
Uh,
that a bacteria can be in the same day, just this on one day with its. It can be alive with its great. How many hundreds of great parent? And so, because we can experience that, we're able to see the changes, right? So that's that because it replicates very fast. In humans, it takes a very long time, hundreds of thousands, even millions of years, to be able to even if you wanted to see. However, the way evolutionary biologists understand adaptation is they look at different pieces of evidence. It's like the human itself, the human being like itself is a kind of a specimen. So they study the present human being. They look at
Hold on,
fossils.
Albert. Let me ask you something.
Yeah,
So, do you think that the mind could do something that science can't give an answer for?
the mind can do something the mind can come up with all kinds of things. The mind can imagine things.
Like heal.
Yeah,
Like I don't
can
need
heal.
anything outside of me to heal the body. That my consciousness, my awareness is able to heal the body. That I don't need to go to a doctor in order to get healing in my body.
Yeah, to some extent, yes. There's a concept in medicine called the placebo effect. Maybe you're familiar with it.
Oh yes, very
The pla-
familiar with it.
yes, the placebo effect would be something that's closer to what you're talking about, where okay, you already know it, so I don't have to talk about it. So yes, to some extent, and I think the explanation would be that if you have a healthy mind, that would influence your immune system. It would make it such a way that your system is not flooded with serotonin, stress hormones. And once your immune system is not under the influence of stress hormones, it can effectively function well, right? So when if it's
Because
functioning
when you say
well, it
that
can
some
it can
medication stress
effectively,
the body, when you say some medication stress the body,
yeah,
right?
some,
Because
yeah,
they
some,
when they talk about
yeah,
these, what do they call it? Oh, every time you hear those commercials, side effects,
side effects, yeah,
right? And they're
yeah.
always tell so this thing is supposed to do this, but it's gonna cause all these other things. And so my
Yes,
question
that's
is, so
that's true.
why would I take prescription medicine for this one thing that's going to cause all of these 5, 6, 7, 8 other things? It boggles my
Yeah,
mind that that's the science
that's
that we're fed to think.
let me,
That
yeah, let
part
me
just
explain
boggles
that.
my mind.
let me just explain that. That's good because I there's a course called pharmacology, which I took. It's just you study how medicine works, how drugs are manufactured, and how they work. Drug companies and everything, the process and everything, and how it integrates with the human system. So what happens is that for every medication, the pharmacologists they have to calculate what is called the toxicology, the toxicity of every medication has a toxicity, has some kind of side effect. So they have to look at the ratio. This is why they have the FDA and all of these guys. They have to look at the negative toxicity of this medication and look at the effect, the value that it has, the effect. So if it has to, of the value has to drastically outweigh the toxicity, such that it has to be, it has to help, it has to be very helpful for the disease that is trying to treat. That's the only time that a responsible FDA should be able to permit the drug
Right,
to go
right. But here's
to
the
the
thing, like
population.
someone stating
Yes.
in there, because yeah, I know Albert, you're very, very scientific, and I don't just want to lose people in my chat because you're getting very, very
Oh,
technical,
I can,
right? Very, very
yeah,
technical. And so the yes, the placebo has no side effects though. So why wouldn't we just always use a placebo? Because there are no side effects. So why do we feel like we need some outside form to do something that the body naturally does? Because I believe the body's a naturally healing organism all on its own. That it doesn't need anything, especially not the synthetic drugs that our pharmacists come up with. They always come
yeah,
with these synthetic things, convincing you that something's wrong with you instead of just, they wanna prescribe. They don't want to cure. We understand that it's a business, and I get it. And that dollar is mighty, boy, in a lot of people's realities. But I know there is a power that's mightier than the dollar, and it's called love. And when you
yeah,
just
the
love yourself, and probably 95% of these quote unquote diseases that are in our world would dissipate if people would just love themselves. Because
that's
a
true.
lot of these diseases we have in the body we're not born with.
Yeah,
They come
there are
upon us
viruses. Yes,
through our experiences, and really because of how we think of ourselves and how we're told to think of ourselves.
yeah.
You're
There is
always being
the mind.
told that something's wrong with you, and so you wonder why you start to formulate these different illnesses in your body, because you're always told, depending on what's going on, in the medical field, this type of food is wrong, this type of food is wrong. And it's organic versus unorganic. And it's like there is no organic quote unquote food, because all foods, I don't care where they come from, you're going in your own personal garden or you're getting it from the grocery store, has some type of chemical in it. Even when you fertilize it, the fertilizer has chemicals. Everything you
Yeah,
use, there's no quote unquote naturalness other than just when we just let go of the wrongness. See, this is what my platform is about. Stop operating from the wrongness of life and operate from the richness of it. When you transform how you think about life, you will see your life transform. Your life, not the world, but your world, your own personal experience. The more you start to love life, you will start to see the loveliness of life. And your mind won't seek after all of the depravity, after all of the atrocities, after all of the horrors. Your mind will actually seek out the beauty, the love, the joy, the hope. Then you'll start to see that life is really worth living and is not to be lived in fear or disgust or always pointing a finger or always judging, but you'll operate in love. And to me, the sciences get too murky with that, because science doesn't want it to be a great experience. It wants to be a physical. It only wants to go by the evidence of a thing. And I'm telling you, you are the evidence. Look within and
so
you'll find the evidence of life.
yeah, that's true. That there is they I agree in part with the fact that, I mean, even within the human system, the human has the human immune system that can naturally fight off bacteria and viruses, and there are sometimes that you get sick and you get well without any medication. That's very true because of the way the human system is built to fight off these things naturally. I mean, medicine wasn't around for a very long time, and our ancestors survived with natural herbs without even the whole pharmaceutical companies and stuff. So that's true. However, there are some other serious complications of humans that the immune system alone cannot take care of. So that's why there's modern surgery, there's modern medication, and the placebo effect itself cannot take care of those very serious situations like
Well, now
COVID.
you're
So, for
limiting it, and
example,
just because you don't think
yeah,
you have experienced it doesn't mean it can't happen. So that's why I have to get off the boat, because we love to say what can't happen as opposed just because we haven't experienced it. It's just like when someone says you could not run the 4 minute mile until someone did, until
mm,
someone told you that they healed themselves of the C word without the use of the chemo and the radiation. And
yeah,
then we
that's
want to call
possible.
it,
Yeah,
so what do you, to me, that's the biggest fear that most people is the C word. And that's the most detrimental thing to the human body, yet people have cured themselves from it without the
No,
use of the medical field. But hold on, Albert, I'm
yeah,
gonna bring Stormy into,
okay.
I mean, stay to myself. I don't know why I called you Stormy. Say to myself, hey, 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 could
hey
you
Miss
please mute
Toya, it's
Albert
me.
before I speak
I'm
to
back again. Oh,
hey?
I was gonna wait my turn. I didn't want to rush y'all, but I just want to say hey because I realized like at the end of the day of this whole like matrix, everyone is literally repeating a story they have in their head.
Yep.
What I realized, because I'm like, I realized with just people in general. I said the reason why you don't like me is because I would never do the things that you would do, and you see me as perfect. And I'm like, because why is it okay for people to be horrible people, quote unquote, But that's their story about how they have it. But you see this person striving for greatness, having to be by themselves. Why is there negativity between me all the time? Every time I try, I'm like, oh, some people, because I don't know I think I was on your live like yesterday. You was talking about low self esteem. That is really real. I don't know what it is, but that's the story they have. So I want to know, like, I wrote down a bunch of affirmation changing the story to what I want because I don't want nobody. The next road in my life would have to be like permanently getting away from everybody. I have to because for my journey to grow, it's like I know I have so much going for myself, but it's like I have to.
But like you just said, it's the story you telling, so that's the story you're creating. So in your world, you have to get away from everybody because everybody else gonna keep you from your reality. Really? Why are we giving them power?
No, they
Why,
ain't
why
gonna
are we
get
giving them power? Why do other people get to dictate whether you're successful or not? Why
okay.
do you care what other people think about you? Why is that a thing?
I don't
Like,
care.
why are you so obsessed over how another person is seeing you when your self-concept is all that matters? It's
Oh,
what you think of you.
no, I know that, but like how you just don't want to be around certain
No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking
environments.
about. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Nope. I don't know.
I so it's wait, hold on. It's wrong to not want to be a part of a certain environment.
I'm not saying anything is wrong. You asked me, do I know? And I said, I don't.
Oh,
Never
okay,
said
yeah,
that it was
yeah.
wrong. I just said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, because like what I want, okay, yes, basically about what I want in life. What I want, I just don't want to be around certain environments. That's just it. There's nothing wrong with the environment. I'm not, but I just don't want to be around certain environments because it's not that I care what other people think. It's just I don't want to be around. That's just my choice. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with it.
Right.
So I just don't
Okay.
want to be around certain environments because it's like it's not that I care for people. It's just
But what are certain environments? What are you saying?
stories that I don't like. That's it.
Okay, what about the stories that you don't like? What about them?
They don't align with me.
Okay, so why are you telling them?
What do you mean telling them?
You're saying you're the one. This your story. This your life. This your script. Nobody's in your world by accident. You're creating.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to write. I'm trying to write it.
Like you're telling me that you don't want to be around certain people. Then why are you?
That's a good point. That's what I'm saying.
Like I don't understand. Like if you don't want to be around them,
saying.
then just don't be around them. Why you got to talk about it? Just don't do it. It's really that simple. Just don't go around them.
Okay.
You ain't got to make no big announcement about it.
It's just no. I would just say like I've tried. No, the circumstance that I've been doing. Like you know how you try to rewrite the story and you try to like
No, I don't
Move up.
try. I do. Trying is failing. Are you doing it or not?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's taking time, well, alignment to come to the the
Is
3D.
it?
That's
Is it? That's the story. You tell it again.
okay. I'm already out. That's what it is,
I
man.
mean, but here's the thing. Like you said, there's no judgment there. But if you're saying you're trying to do a thing and you're going to do it and you have to align to it, then yeah, that's the law you have to live by. You have to try to do it. You have to tell the story. You have to get yourself to align to it. So yes, then that's the journey you have to take. That's your story. Nothing wrong with it.
Oh my god. Okay, this is a thing because you got me there. Uh,
Right,
uh
like Elizabeth said, Nike said, just do it. Stop talking about it. Just do it. Just be it. Be still and know. Do what feels in your heart to do. You don't have to preface it with, I don't want to be around them because I just don't want to be around them. Then just don't be around them. Like, why you gotta give an excuse for it? Who cares? Other than you care. Because that's why you're talking about it. Because if you
yeah,
didn't care, you wouldn't be drinking it up.
yeah. I'm saying no. I'm saying like.
It sounds like you want to justify your choices. Why do your
No, no,
choices
no, no,
need
no, no.
justification?
I just,
Why do your choices need justification?
they don't. I'm just
Then
saying,
yeah, I
like,
mean, but you are giving it justification. You
I'm
are
just saying,
justifying what you're doing. Like you want someone to be in agreement with you.
no, 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 no. You don't have to agree. Um,
Then
cause
why
like,
aren't you just doing it then? Why are you talking about it?
I just moved here, and yeah, well, I already have the
What
basically
you
just
mean you
how I.
just moved? What you mean you just moved here?
I just moved to a different state right
Okay.
now,
Okay.
and yeah, and applied for jobs, and then yeah, I just basically have to. Well, I don't
Well,
have
it's
to.
just like this screen said. What do you want? Say to
Oh, I
myself.
already have
What
what
do
I
you want?
want. I've been focusing on what I want.
So what's the issue then? I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Oh
You
yeah, I
already
want
have
no,
what you
no.
want.
I want my
You become you're in your cocoon, so you're staying away from others.
I want my I want my businesses to take off. That's about it.
Okay, so you want them to take off.
Yeah, like scale, like the way I want it to.
Okay, and so what does that mean? How does that
Um,
work?
money, 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 money. A lot of money.
No, but from a practical perspective,
Uh
right?
huh.
Let's go to the end of the desire. Let's get away
Oh,
from wanting.
I'm in my
Hold on,
Houston
hold on.
mansion.
Hold on. We're past the wanting stage of I want the business to be this.
Yeah.
The business is now this. What does that look like?
Oh, I'm in my Houston mansion, chilling.
So the business is running itself.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to get most of my team to run my business for me because I've learned from entrepreneurs and stuff like that that people can run it for you as long as
Okay.
you yeah
Okay. So your business is a well-oiled machine,
yeah
and you just chilling. You going on vacations. You don't have no early more early morning meetings. You check in with your manager, however often you checking in with them, and life is a breeze.
uh-huh.
So are we going to now talk from that state, or we're going to talk from the wanting state?
Oh, I get you. I get you. I ain't gonna cap. I get you. I'm already in. Like that's what I'm saying.
You
Yeah,
already
I'm already.
have the business. You don't want it. You have it.
It's
You
already
don't want the
done.
business. You don't want it to be successful. It is successful.
It exists.
Oh, bless you.
So yeah. So basically, if there's a bunch of stories that don't align. I mean, if there's a bunch of stories that other people that are saying that don't align with you, how would you react to it? I wanted to know your personal response to that.
Yeah, other people's stories is none of my business. What you think of me is none of my business. Those are your thoughts, not mine. See, if
Man.
I don't like the mirror, I don't break the mirror. I change the reflection. So I wouldn't go around saying, well, people don't agree, people don't like, people don't see me. No. Oh, people, they just can't get enough talking about how awesome I am. They just can't stop talking about how great I'm doing. People are coming, they're clamoring at me. Girl, what did you do? How did you get that booming business? Oh my goodness, really, girl, you gotta tell me what you did. You did all you did was think about it. No, you had to do more than that. No, I thought about it and everything just kind of fell into place. The right person came into the right experience, the right person. I met this person that came there. I really can't even tell you how it happened. It just kind of just fell into place. Things just kind of moved, and and you may think it's a miracle, but the thing is, it happens naturally. Natural things will happen once, but because you don't make a thing happen. Things happen naturally when you live in the end. When you live in the end of knowing that you're already that person, and so you have to talk. So when you're saying people are speaking against you, well, you're creating that. How about say that people are actually supporting you?
Wait, okay, that's
And
not what I
people
want
are
though.
asking questions of you
That's
and
not what I
wanting to
want.
know, how did you get the mindset to bring this reality forth? Because that's the only reason why it's there, because of your mindset.
But
You
that's not what I
thought a
want.
certain way.
I just want what I want for my story. What I want is indifference. I just want people not to. I don't. Not the people I'm currently around in the 3D, whatever they are, mirrors, or I just want these mirrors to just not focus on me. That's it. I don't care about nothing support. I don't care about no support because I support myself. I have all the support and love for myself.
Okay, so here's the thing. If the people are not paying you any attention, how are you talking about them?
And
they don't exist because you don't want them to say anything. Then these people don't exist in your reality. Then no one is saying anything.
Dang. Because that is crazy, because you're right. Because I wouldn't even be focused on anything. I wouldn't even be hearing anything if they weren't here in my reality. Or unless I'm talking to myself being crazy. So, man.
You're letting the outside noise dictate. You're allowing the circumstances to dictate your reality when you're supposed to be the one that dictates the circumstances. But you keep giving power to the outside instead of knowing that the power is from within.
Yeah.
There is no they. There are no they. Remember, everyone is you pushed out. You're writing this story and you're writing haters into the experience. You're writing people that are saying these quote unquote negative things, but who's thinking it? Who's thinking it? You are.
Dang.
Because if you're hearing it, you can take what you hear and you can transmute it. So even if someone comes and say, girl, you ain't never gonna do that, girl, I don't know, you past that. That ain't gonna never happen. You can change it and be like, well, actually they said, girl, I can't wait to see you blow up, girl. I just know this thing gonna happen for you. I can see it. Oh my goodness, you have been desiring this for so long. You can actually take what they said and make them say something different. Because it's your world. This is where people talk about quote unquote being delusional. But it's not, you're not being crazy. To them, you will be crazy because most people don't talk to themselves that way. But people that actually get the things they want with the least amount of effort talk that way.
Okay, so instead of saying, oh, there's stories about negative stories about me, oh, it's just a bunch of people who don't focus on me, do their own thing, and it's a peaceful environment. That's all I wanted. That's about it. I don't really care for the support because I already support myself. I already have so much love and support for myself. So I really don't care for none of that other stuff. But what I want in my life, I want indifference. I want people to do their own thing, be helpful, have a peaceful environment. That's about it. That's it. I don't really care for nothing else.
You're supposed to say, peace be still.
Man. Why is that? Why do people think it's so harder than what it is?
It's not. Because the mind of man wants to complicate the easy. It's so simple, but the reason the mind wants to complicate it. Because we've been told our life that it's not that easy. We've been told our life must be difficult. You're not going to appreciate something that you didn't work for. Do you not know that you have to grind, you have to work hard, you have to struggle through life? Because you're not just going to appreciate something that's given to you. Bullshit. Give me $1 million and see if I don't appreciate it. Bullshit. Oh, I'm appreciate it. And I ain't work for it, and somebody just want to drop $100,000 in my bank account, I'm gonna appreciate the hell out of it. You might not appreciate it. Try me on for size.
what's your name? Is Prosperous?
Yes, T. You can call me T.
Okay. See, okay. How do you I have a question for you, and even for the what do you is it stay Tony?
Say to myself, yeah.
How I understand the positive effect of the whole positive self talk, self affirmations. I'm strong. I'm this, and which can boost the self esteem and make you more confident. However, how do you reconcile that positive self affirmation with reality? Like there is you can have that self talk and all of that which can motivate you, but there are certain realities on the ground that you have to bring together. You have to actually do things on the ground. Like you can I mean I can declare that I'm the king of the world and all of that, which is, I don't know, some kind of good thing to say, but technically in real at the moment I'm not the king of the world. And so maybe it can be some kind of an aspiration. If there's no such thing as king of the world technically right now. You have different presidents of different countries, and you have the UN, whatever. But how do you reconcile those two things such that you do not start saying things that are quote unquote delusional?
Because you're the king of your world, not king of the world. There's a difference. So
Okay.
you're not here to change the world. You're here to change your world. So you get to define what king of the world is for you, right? It could be you, like, say to myself, says, I have a billion dollar business. And and here's the thing. Are we saying that's going to be an overnight thing? No, there's a process, right? There's a process too, because everything big starts off small, right? So she has to be willing to experience the journey of being a business that profits billions of dollars, right?
Well,
She has
I
to
got a
be
question.
willing to allow it to come. Here's the thing. The doing is automatic. Am I saying she's not going to quote unquote do something? Of course she is. Because her mind, when she has the consciousness of having a billionaire business, her mind is going to bring ideas to the forefront and is going to put her in front of people that want to help her to bring about this quote unquote manifestation. So she's going to get billion dollar ideas.
I do.
First, it may be thousands of dollars. Then it's going to be millions of dollars.
Yep.
Her billion, it may be that somebody wants to buy her out, right? A lot of people have great ideas that they never facilitate. They have, like these tech apps, right? Somebody had a wonderful idea with these apps, and then they sell it off to someone, right? And that's how they get their millions or billions, that they themselves personally no longer want to run the business. Someone else sees that they could take it further than them, and they're willing to relinquish that, and they're just happy with getting the money from their brilliant idea. See, here's the thing. I don't know how it's going to actualize, and no one does. Do you really think Amazon knew that it was a book, or just a book, a digital outsourcing of books, was going to
No.
become this business that has, you can get anything from Amazon now?
Miss
You can
Toyia, Miss
go
Toyia, Miss
grocery,
Toyia.
hold on, say to myself, you can go grocery shopping, and you can, anything you need for your home you can get through Amazon. But they didn't start off that way. And yes, that was in the 90s. I remember working on the Chicago Board Options Exchange when Amazon, their price stock went down, because I used to work in the 90s on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. We were right across the street from the stock exchange. And so I remember, and was it 98 when the stocks really went down? I believe that was 98. And they thought it was going to be representative of, what do they call it? Black Friday in the stock, in I forgot what they called it, whatever they called it. And because I again, I'm far removed from that life now. But I'm not saying that there won't be action, but the action will be natural. It would the doing is always the effect, is never the cause. But the world will have you thinking it's the doing that's making the thing happen. No, everything starts from an idea held in mind. Someone comes up with a brilliant idea, and then it what snowballs into greatness.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they remain faithful to the greatness. Some people step back and falter, and when things aren't going exactly how they think it should go, when things aren't moving, when they come across different, bumps in the road, if things aren't happening exactly the way they think it should happen, they kind of lose heart and they faint, and then they never actualize their desire. This is where the script says, "Do not grow weary in well doing, for you shall reap if you faint not." See, the Bible is a blueprint on how to use your mind to remain steadfast and persist in your desired outcome.
Can I say something? Oh, you were.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. So when I was working on one of my businesses, right, it branched out to other products for different business ventures. I was like, how did you know that? Because like Amazon did start off with books, right? Just books. And then they expanded. They started doing stores, supplies, things that people every day use. And I was like, that's true. It did start off with books. I remember Amazon back then only started off with books, and they expanded. So I was like, because I noticed, I judged my progress, because it only started off with one product for one specific business, but then I branched out and did three different things for three different.
Oh, you pause. Say to myself.
I did three different branches for the main one. So yeah, and I was like, what you just said really, like, stop judging your process, just know it's done. Why are you getting mad if you know you have $1 billion business? Which makes sense. Why are you getting mad? Because even though the 3D is not showing me, quote unquote, but you're already in your Houston mansion, basically. It's just, do you like the term act as if better than know as if? Because the people take things in their brain and delusion differently.
Right.
So
whatever, it's what you like. It's what resonates with you.
I might have to put act as if, because it's like, I know it's there. I've been looking at, every day I looked at mansions where I want to go. I looked at, I have all my products that I want. I looked at manufacturers. I looked up, you even just discussed that I have $1 billion business. That is so like positive and manifesting, well, positive, because it's like, that's what I've been wanting. Did I not create a conversation about being a billionaire? Did I not talk about my products? Did I not be in the end state of where I wanted to be? So it's actually unfolding. It's just the way people try to control their story on how it's unfolding. That's where people get upset.
Right. Get caught up in the rapture of loving what you do. Be so in love with what you're doing that you're not paying attention to what's happening. But people pay too much to what's happening and falter at the happening and say, well, it shouldn't be happening this way. I need it to be happening that way. Oh my goodness. You cannot, you have to continue to persist. Do not go by appearances. That's where a lot of people get discouraged. Yes, I mean, the airplane didn't come into existence on first try. Automobile didn't come into what it is on the first try. Like nothing, we perfect things. We are here to experience things being perfected. We're here to experience the journey. And some people just don't want to experience the journey. They want to be I Dream a Genie. They want to blink their eyes and bam, there's $1 billion. Now, do some people have $1 billion come into their experience just from playing the lottery?
Yeah, but I don't want nobody to know I won the lottery. Heck no, you ain't gonna ask me for $20.
I mean, some people can quantum leap into that reality. Because all things are possible. And you just have to ask yourself what's possible for you. Because here's the thing. When the business becomes $1 billion business, are you going to be mad that it happened 20 years from now? No, you're not. You're not. No, you're not going to be mad that it happened 20 years from now.
20 years, I'll be old.
What is old? You sound like you're in your 20s.
I am.
How do you think 40s is old?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, let's keep. Okay. Wait, Toyia, Miss Toyia, would you classify
Oh my goodness. I mean, it could be in 10 years. It could be, I don't know the timeline because again, time is relative. Time isn't real.
Yeah, it's not. None of it's real. None of this is
Right.
even real. But I had one question.
But see,
Would
that's
you?
my thing. You're concerned about the date.
I am.
Like you haven't fell in love with your desire because you're too concerned about the when.
Because
I
okay,
need you to follow when you fall in love with the desire, when doesn't matter.
oh, look, let me ask you.
When and how is out of the window. We're not concerned with the how and the when because we know the how, the way will be shown. You will be shown what to do because like people say, God disrupts the best made plans because life never goes as you planned it. No one can say that it does. That everybody could foretold the very step that they would take that would lead to this success. Nobody knows the details. The details fill in on themselves. That's why they say the devil is in the detail. The doubt is in the details. Trying to say, oh, it has to happen exactly this way. I had to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I jump from 2 to 6, that ain't how it goes. Who says that's not how it goes? Who do you get to say that how my path? This is my path, not your path. Your path said you had to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My path said I go 1, 2, skip 3, 4, 5, and go to 6, 7, and skip 10 and go to 20. Like,
Yeah. So I had two questions. Okay, so I don't know. Would you consider yourself an entrepreneur, Toya?
I don't label myself. I am.
Okay, it's just like, okay, I would label myself as an entrepreneur. The thing is, entrepreneurs, we want to be quote unquote the young programming. We rather be younger. I mean, we rather be rich younger. If that makes younger, is no such thing as young and old. But I'm saying like it would be better if the billion came 20s, early 30s than 40s, 50s. You know what I'm saying? It would be better. But not even billions, you know what I'm saying? Just a large sum of money first. But that billions, I could wait till like, because most people don't become a billionaire till like they're 35.
I mean, but why do you need billions? What's the point of the billions?
Because like that's 1 in a million. A billion.
No, but why do you need billions?
I don't know, because it's like, yeah, it's rare. Being rare is something I think it's dope to be doing something rare that most people haven't done. So I would love to be rare, if that makes sense. And that way, in a positive way. Because I saw because I do look up to Rihanna, and I see her like, I know she built it from a long time ago, but it's like, things take off nowadays from social media. Things really, really do take off. One viral post can get your product everywhere. And that's true. So, I would say doing something positive and being rare and being one of one, because most people are not. But in their reality, but I'm saying in that type of reality where I feel like you're a billionaire and you've done something constructive, the thing is, I don't know if Rihanna came up with her product. I came up with my product. I invented everything. I came up with the name. Me. So it will make me feel like whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I have two more branches tied into that. Like the Amazon thing that I created. So it's just like, it's something rare that is in a positive manner that I created, and that's something I would want. There's nothing wrong or bad. I get you. I understand this. It's one of one. I'm saying like even before like large sum. Let's say it was like 20,000 or 20 million. I ain't focused on no billion. But at the end of the day, if I could be a billionaire, why not go for it? I was taught, the thing is, we're taught to shrink ourselves because of reality and what happens to us. I had a conversation with someone. He's like, life doesn't always pan out the way you need to. I'm like, yeah. But at the end of the day, I know what I know from your studies, Toya, and Neville Goddard's stories. Is like, why do you keep thinking life is humbling you from the 3D?
Right.
So it's like, I have the passion from something I created. Nobody has this idea. Somebody has something similar, but like nobody has this exact idea, and it's one of one. And I have I have a whole documentary towards it too.
Oh, nice.
It's
Yeah,
just,
so just stay focused. Keep your eye on the prize. It's already done. That don't get caught up in what's going on around you. And I know sometimes that can be challenging because we say it is. We don't like to live in the light and easy mentality. We want to live in a difficult and struggle mindset. And so we keep creating difficulty and struggle for ourselves when we don't need to, right? And so your difficulty and struggles is coming from, well, what are they saying about me? I need to be by myself. I need to keep the world out. I need to be I need to have boundaries. Well, okay, so you're going to create circumstances where you have to have boundaries. Just
yeah,
know that.
limited beliefs. Those are all
Just
limited
know
beliefs.
that. Just know
100%.
that when you think you have to close yourself off, you're going to create realities where you have to close yourself off. You're going to create situations where you're going to feel the need to have to go into a cocoon because that's what you believe.
Oh, yeah. So basically, you're just putting from their stories and your story that you want. You're putting limited beliefs on you. No one's telling you you have to do that. No one's telling you because you're believing in a program and a story because of the 3D, basically of the mirror effect of what other people are saying,
Yep.
which is other versions of you.
Yep.
So it's like I don't. The thing is, it's just not like, oh, I need to be by myself. I want to be by myself. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not judging.
But
No
I'm
story.
saying, then why aren't you by yourself then? I
I
just understand
don't know.
if you want to be by yourself, then be by yourself.
Maybe
What
because
is
I
the
live with no.
problem?
Maybe because I
Why
live with
why
other.
aren't you doing it?
Maybe
Why
because I
aren't
live with other people. That's what it is.
Oh, but you can't be by yourself in your own mind. So you think you have to physically not be
Yeah,
around
that's what it
people
is.
instead of
That's
being
what it
by yourself in
is.
your own mind? Like you could be in a room full of people and be by yourself. You can go into the theater of your own mind. Well, let's see what T Lee. Hello, T Lee. T Lee 7, are you there?
Yeah, I told him to take the mute off, I guess.
Yes. Unmute yourself. Oh, they dropped. Oh, okay. Oh.
So yeah, that's a I don't, it's not a limited belief, but that's kind of like what I can't tell myself I struggle with that because if I get over the hump of environment, yeah,
I mean, well, it's a hump that you have to get over.
okay, I'm already out of it. These people are not focused on me. These people are helpful, and then they just mind their business. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah. I don't.
is.
I just don't understand the focus on the other people. But hey, it's your reality.
I
Go
don't
ahead,
like them.
girl. Good girl. Let me talk to Sweetie Pie. Hello, Sweetie Pie.
Hello, Toyia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, speaking on limited beliefs, I think I've been operating out of limited beliefs, thinking that I was using wisdom. Um, for example, it's like I have this vacation fund that I use um, because I want to manage my money, right?
Hmm.
So my whole thing is to make sure that my vacation fund never depletes because I don't want to go outside of this or I can't go on vacation if this money is not there.
Mm.
So, and I'm thinking that, well, that's wise. That's how I will make sure that I don't go into the D word, if you
Hmm.
know what I mean.
Hmm.
I hate even saying that word. But I feel like I wonder if that's kind of limiting me or if I'm really operating out of fear instead of wisdom. Um,
Well, is that a law you want to live by? That unless I have this money in the bank, I can't go on vacation? Is that the law you want to live by?
it is not.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Why are you creating that reality then?
yeah.
It's just, you could change the story. I go on vacation whenever I feel like it, regardless. You don't have to have a separate fund, but if you choose to, again, there's no wrong there, right? It's not wrong. If you feel if that's what resonates with you, if you feel that that's something you want to experience, don't judge it. Just see it as, yes, I have my vacation fund, and yes, I'm going to have the time of my life, because whenever I'm ready to go on vacation, the money's always there.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know.
I guess that's how I've been operating. Like the faith is that I will always have vacation money. Myself to just having that money, because it could be anything. Somebody, will just say, "Hey,
Right. That's why I said
yeah,
whenever I want to go on vacation, I can go on vacation.
yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
Listen,
That fund is just spending money for whenever I decide to go on vacation. It's
right?
just extra money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I went to Colorado with almost no money. It's really it's really your story. And so just know that there's no right way or wrong way to tell the story. It's just tell the story as you would like for it to be, not the way you think it should be, right? It's how would you like for it to be. Unlimit yourself, you know.
Because I don't want to teeter on fear, because I feel like it creeps in when I feel like those funds are going low.
So you watch your money
I
daily.
do. Mhm.
So do you know the greatest thing I fear comes upon me?
I know. I know.
So stop living in fear. Fear doesn't exist. All right.
Mhm.
All right. And so how do we deal with fear? How do we deal with fear? What's the cure all for fear?
Is it fate?
Love.
Love.
Perfect love casts out all fear. So love the money, love the vacation, love the thought, the excitement you get from being on a different place somewhere other than where you are, and being free to do it. Like, it's freedom in that I can go anywhere I want to go whenever I choose to go. You know how freeing that is?
Mhm.
That's freeing.
Yeah.
Loving that. Being okay with saying I love money because I am money, because loving money is loving me because we are one. Money isn't separate from me. I am money. I am the currency, right?
I am money. Yes.
Yes, I am the currency.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
that's just something you have to meditate on. You have to become one with, right? And so how do you start to love money? So it's little things that you can do for yourself that they push you in that state of loving money. So when you go out to circulate it, you're not circulating it in trepidation. You're not in fear of, oh, I can only spend this much at the grocery store. Or when I go out to eat, I only got this X amount of money, so I got to make sure I only spend X amount of dollars. Nope.
Yes. And that's me
We've all been there, sweetie pie. I speak from experience. So,
too. Yeah.
I speak from experience.
Yep. Yep.
So I had to loose myself from that mindset as well. Be loose and be set free.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
I am money. I
I
am money.
am money.
Yes. I'll be meditating on that.
Beautiful, beautiful. And make it practical.
Yeah.
Practical. Going to the store. If you feel like not buying something, just say, not out of lack, but out of abundance, I'm just choosing not to. Or I'll come back to get that, or whatever. That's something that resonates with you, that's not coming from a place of I don't have it.
Mhm.
Right? You don't want to come from a place that I don't have enough. No, you are enough. You have plenty.
Yes.
Yep. Operate in faith. Just decide what you want and know it shall show up. Not how it should show up, but that it shall show up.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
And so we're going to go to, I don't want to mispronounce your name, so I'm just going to say the powerful dedicator. Hello, powerful dedicator. You can unmute.
Hello, good day, ladies.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I always see you, your life and all that, but I never had opportunity to be part of it. But then something it caught my attention while I saw it, the prompt. We are not sinners, no savior needed. So I was just talking about this as well, because I meet a lot of people and I talk to a lot of people. And one thing that I realize is because of we've been programmed since our early age, and most of us we were taught and that we are sinners, and that's why today many people until now in their mind they only know that they are sinners. But after a long period of time, I let go of Christianity, of religion. I realize that I am not a sinner. But what happened is, as a physical that we are, as a people that we are, we meant to make mistakes and to learn from it and to grow from there. Because one cannot grow without mistake, because sometimes their mistake that he built us makes us to realize and to make a better choices and decision in life for ourselves. Then I realized that those mistakes, because of religion, it was labeled as sin. And when I went to this in the book of Proverbs, is one thing that sometimes people overlook. Like for example, when we were at church, we were told that we are sinners, and we accepted it and we agree with it. While we should not, because why? In the book of Proverbs says, Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." So this shows us, if you accepted it in your heart that you are a sinner, and then you are a sinner.
Yep.
You don't have to agree with everything that tells you that you are, because one thing that I realize, words are living words, are vibration, are frequency. Now, when you agree upon certain negative words, you become part of it. And then and then something came into mind why most of the time we are being told we are sinners. That is to make us to look down upon ourselves, to look lower upon ourselves, because why? The Bible says a guilt conscience will not enter the kingdom of God. Because why? When you are guilt, when your conscience is guilt, it's impossible that you are able to ascend in Christ consciousness. Because why? You constantly keep look down upon yourself and looking at yourself that you are a sinner, you are not good enough, that you are not worthy, you need another person to save you because you cannot do it for yourself. And all those labels meant us to keep us in a lower vibration. Until today, there are many people still stuck in this loop of lower vibration, lower frequency, not knowing that themselves they are gods. Because where else can we see God? I can only see God through you, because you are manifestation of the unseen. Because through you is where God lies upon. In order for me to see God, I have to see through another person. And that, like for example, if I need a help, no matter how much I pray, that help is not going to come from heaven, from the sky. It's going to come through another person. That is a manifestation of God working through that person. So I just people need to think carefully in what they accept when someone tells them something, because what you accept become part of you. The same as what we eat. What we eat, it actually become who you are. Now, like for example, I was doing some researches about what certain thing that you food is not just about what we think is food. It because everything as we know it's a vibration. Everything is it's frequency. It has energy that you carry through it. So what you put through your body become part of you. So that's all I wanted to say. People need to stop looking themselves and accepting that they are sinner. They are not. They are not sinners. They are not. So that's all I wanted to contribute to those who are here and listening. Stop accepting that you are sinner. You are not, and you don't need a savior. You are God. You are here for a reason.
Absolutely.
That's all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yep. And I concur. It's what you believe to be true will be true for you, even when it comes to the food. You know, we have to understand that the body is just a projection of the mind, right? Quantum physics tells us that the body isn't even solid, right? So if you think something can harm the body, it will, because you're the creator, you're the thinker. But if you know that the food is the word and not the physical representation, then you know nothing is outside of you or separate from you, but all is you. As Job says, as you were saying that you see God in other people, you actually see God in yourself, because it's I was thinking of the scripture, so I had to go find it, because I could only remember the last part. Yet in my flesh shall I see God. In my flesh, in my knowing, in my body shall I see God. That's what I see God. God is a projection is the I am. And you are just a figment of my imagination, the channel that I'm using, that I popped into my experience to bring me my good. Because we're all one. We're all consciousness. There's no separation. No separation. So there's no you and me, it's you are me. You are literally my thoughts made manifest. Yes. Hello, Dorier. How are you? Yeah, we are
Good
well.
day, good day, good day, T. Good day, family. I missed the class yesterday. I had to go to a funeral. How can I? You say I can go on YouTube and see
Yes.
the class?
Yep, I haven't
So just
uploaded
go.
it yet. I haven't uploaded it yet. I had to download it first. So you should be able
Oh,
to see it
there's no rush.
later on today. Yeah.
So I would go to YouTube and just put in Prosperous Living.
Yes, or you can go to my page and get the link.
Oh, okay then. Okay, well, thank you for all you do. I can't wait for us to go to lunch and if I could have some king crab legs and some steak. I
Oh,
love
okay.
king crab legs and
Do
steak, so
you?
I can't wait.
I
So
like crab legs.
yeah,
I don't eat them because I don't like the whole gotta break and cracking, and I don't like fighting with my food.
not
So I don't.
that's not what
I
that's not what king crab legs, T.
Oh, you don't have to crack the
That's
cream
not.
egg. They already did. They already done for you.
Oh, they keep the king crab legs. You just crack it one time, a big old piece. Oh, you'll love it. We gonna try some king crab legs in the
Okay.
summer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't like all that work, so I don't eat the small one, the medium. It got to
Okay.
be king, so that's good.
Okay. Got
But
you.
I wanted to share with you that since I've been following you, I've been just concentrating on me since the fire, and just me, because I've always been the one that's trying to save the world, you know, just give. And it feels so good to just give all my energy to me and just concentrate on me. And I see such an improvement.
That's beautiful.
It's such an improvement in my soul, not really giving anybody my energy, not talking on the phone, just concentrating on me. And
Hmm.
so I feel like I'm healing and that once I do that, I love going out dancing. I love house music, and I'll do that.
Oh,
But right now, I just need to just concentrate on me. And I need to,
but why you
I'm
can't go
healing.
enjoy house music?
Oh, I will be. I will be probably next weekend. I'm gonna start back skating.
Oh,
I'm like
nice.
65 years younger, and I'm gonna start back skating at the rink like twice a week, going to listen to house music because I just love dancing and love skating and all those things. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So yeah, I'm gonna have a nice fall.
Oh, that's
Fall is a
beautiful.
beautiful season, so I'm gonna be doing that. But I wanted to tell you that just being quiet and
Mm-hmm.
not having to have anybody in my circle right now, it feels really good. So
Oh,
thank you for letting me know that just to concentrate on me.
oh, that's beautiful.
And
That's beautiful. Say, getting back to me, as they say. I'm getting back to me. Loving on me. Loving on me. That's
yeah.
beautiful.
So I'm gonna reach out to you in October. We're gonna go eat some
Okay.
king crab
Yeah.
legs and
Yeah.
steak. On
I
me,
like
on
that.
me.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I
Okay
look
then.
forward to that.
I yield. All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye bye. Hey, June. How are you?
Hey Toya, I'm good. How's everybody doing in the chat?
Great. Thank you.
So I always tell you every time I listen in and um, listen in to you on your platform, it is always a change to take place in this. Um, I mean, I just don't really think that you can be on this platform and get off and not have a change occurring in your life. So now I'm at this point to where, remember I told you that manifesting was natural for me, and once I start uh, I was manifesting when I was unaware that it was just happening because I wasn't thinking about like, oh, you manifesting this. It was just a thought. It happened. I'm like, oh, I knew it was gonna happen.
Mm.
Now that I'm conscious of what goes on, and you was like, oh, you think about it too much. Now you're thinking about it too much, and I think that's kind of like so now. I'm sitting with myself. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, what was I doing then that I'm doing now to why I just keep feeling like, because one minute I can be in the flow and things just be happening, and then I just jump out of the flow and I realize like you said, like you got to learn to let things be. But
Mm.
so I realize when I get out the flow, when I start trying to do what I think needs to be done in
Mm.
order for that thing to come to pass. And I had a moment with myself, and I was like, dang, I'm like, but what was so I started asking myself, well, like, what was your actions? What was you doing? How was you approaching life? And I was just sitting there, and I'm talking to myself, and it was like, dang, you started eating other people's food, and I'm just like, and at first I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is crazy, but it was. Yeah, I know. I laughed at it too. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, and I was like, he was eating other people's food, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, am I going crazy? I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, and I really, and I'm like, you know what? Let me sit. I'm like, because this ain't no physical thing that's going on right here, right now. This is a spiritual thing that's happening within inside myself, and it's been
Oh, you paused, June. Are you there?
for cooking,
Yeah,
but
your audio went out,
you knew
June.
who kitchen you was eating out
For
of.
about 10 seconds. Maybe it may have went out again. Let me see and let her know we can't hear her. We can't hear you. Man, just typing. Come on now. Yeah, we can't hear you, June. Oh, oh wow. So maybe she got kicked off. I don't know. Yeah, like Elizabeth said, awesome awareness. The awareness of, and I think that's what happens when we find, other like-minded people. We get into the habit of thinking that we have to manifest the way they do, right? We lose ourselves thinking that someone else knows better, when like she said, we've been manifesting the whole time, right? It was with ease, it was effortless. And then you start listening to other people and they start telling you, well, if you want it faster, if you want it to come in this time frame, you want to do, we start listening to people. They're like, well, I manifested this and I manifested that. And, we start listening to what other people have to say as opposed to studying ourselves, knowing ourselves and understanding how we personally bring things into our experience. So even though like I was, I listened to Neville Goddard, studied Neville Goddard, I listened to Abraham Hicks for a while as well. I, even though it, Neville Goddard would say, to envision it. And I realized I don't have to visualize it. That's not how I manifest. It's not necessary for me to visualize it. Is that a wrong way to do it? No, it's not a wrong way to do it. That's how he did it. That's how he connected to his reality and lived in the end. I recognize all I have to do is speak it. I don't have to create a scenario. I don't have to create a scene. I don't have to do any of that. I just have to say what I want and then let it go. All I have to do is speak the word, which is drop the seed into the garden of my mind, into my subconscious, and then let it take root and let it come into full bloom. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to see myself doing it, see myself, acting it out. None of that is necessary for me. And so for others, people say, well, I do visualize. I can see it plainly. I can see it vividly. I can see the end. I can see me doing it, and so they know that's how they manifest. Others would say, well, I write it down. Or others would say, well, I do a mirror technique. And then someone else would say, where I do the 3-6-9. And they promise you, they guarantee results for you. No, they're guaranteeing results for themselves. And you have to guarantee results for you and how you manifest. Is that, yes, there are probably many people that use the 3-6-9 method. There are many people that use the mirror method. There are many people that script and journal. There are many people who use candles and write down things and burn it in a candle. There are many people that go to the tarot cards. There are many people that go to the astrology, the birth chart, whatever it is that people are utilizing. Yes, that's what works for them. You have to discover what works for you. Oh, okay, June. Yes, I was like, we couldn't hear you. And then you dropped. But if you want to come back up, you can. Oh, so I go into what people call zoning out. And every time what I speak within that state, it happens. Yep. I don't know what you call it, but I just say I speak those things that be not as though they were. I say, oh, I want to experience this. I decided to experience this, and then I let it go. And then, I know it has to take place. I just know that, and then I see that a lot of times the mind tries to quantify a thing, tries to make something big or small, right? And so when we find ourselves trying to say, well, this is a big thing, so I must do it more, or I must believe it more. However, consciousness isn't categorizing it as big or small. It's our logical mind that wants to do that, because we're told that something is bigger than us or greater than us, or because we have no tangible evidence of certain things, we think, well, then, because everyone isn't a millionaire, quote unquote, we think that has to be something that's difficult to attain. But actually, everyone is infinite abundance. We just try to tell people that they're not, to make people feel like they have to struggle and strain and have to try to go get this unattainable goal that only a few master or a few figure out, right? But if we come into this reality knowing that money is abundant and it's easy to come into your experience and that we're all wealthy, right? If we all come from that place and stop trying to say, well, this amount of money is going to make me rich, as opposed to knowing you're already rich regardless of the amount of money. We think money makes us rich. No, your mindset makes you rich, as well as your mindset makes you poor. If you think you're poor, then you're going to experience poverty. You're going to experience not having enough. You're going to experience lack. However, if you can get the mindset that wealth is for always around you, it overflows, it never runs dry, it's a constant flow, then that's what you'll experience. Say when I see something I like, I say that's for me, even if it just want the Say I don't need a Ferrari, I just want the energy. I know, right? We don't need anything. We don't need anything because we possess all things, right? We just want, whatever it is you want to experience, tell yourself that that's possible. Tell yourself that it's a done deal. Tell yourself, say, okay, I choose this, and allow yourself to have it without trying to think about how you're going to get it. And that's where we trip ourselves up. If we don't see how we can get a thing, then we think it's impossible to get, right? And so a lot of times you have to test this truth, right? You have to test the truth. Like, certain things you could pay for, so you know the how. Well, decide that you want a thing and you're not going to go out and just buy it, right? Just say, I would like to have this, but I'm not going to do anything to get it. I'm not going to go online. I'm not going to go to the store. I'm just going to say, you know what? I want to experience this, and I don't have to spend any money to get it. I just want to experience it. Test it out for yourself. And then that's how you know that your mind is Christ, that you found your Christ. All right? Because you don't need faith for when you know how something's going to happen, right? Because if you know you have plenty of money in the bank, you know that you can go out and buy whatever you want. That doesn't take faith to do that. It takes faith to get a thing and you don't know how it's going to come to you. That's faith. Yep, you have to have the feeling of wanting for nothing, the peace that passes all understanding. Yep. No limits, no limits, no limits. And you just got to have fun with it, right? You can make it simple for your mind, just for simplicity's sake, right? You could just say, you know what? I'm going to manifest a cup of coffee. Or I'm going to manifest, I want to experience a nice lunch, where, I don't have to use any of my money. I'm not, I didn't spend anything to get it, but I'm manifesting this lunch, or I would really like to go to this restaurant, or I would really like to go, and don't figure out how you're going to go, when you're going to go. Just say you would like to have that experience, and then see what happens, Don't try to figure out, well, maybe this person will call or this, don't try to figure out anything other than this is the experience you would like to have. Because that's how we prove this truth to ourselves, right? This is how we prove it. Like the script says, prove me now herewith and see that I will not open up the windows of heaven, which is opening up your mind. Heaven is in your mind, right? I will not open up the windows of your mind and pour you out the blessings, right? The desires, the things that you want to experience, they will rain down upon you, right? When you prove it to yourself, when you test it, you got to put it to the test so that you know it for yourself, not because what someone else said, what now someone else has done, but because you know it for yourself. And you know that getting a cup of coffee, getting a lunch is not going to those things are not going to, like, you're like, oh my goodness, my world has come to an end if the cup of coffee doesn't manifest. Oh, my world is going to come to the end if the lunch, the lunch that I want doesn't. No, you know that life still is going to go on, but you have to know that it must come. You can't go with it thinking that it won't happen. You have to go in knowing that it has already happened, right? That the moment you asked, it was given to you. While you were yet speaking, it did appear, right? So don't go into it doubting. But even if you go into it doubting, some people have come into it doubting and it still happened. Because remember, consciousness doesn't speak no, it speaks attention. This is what those who like science call frequency and vibration. What you focus on, that's what's going to come, right? So you could even say, oh, I'm not going to manifest a free coffee. Nope, I'm not even going to manifest a free coffee. I'm not going to manifest a free coffee. I'm not going to, nope. It's not going to happen. Not going to manifest. What are you focusing on? A free cup of coffee. So you'll get the free cup of coffee because consciousness doesn't speak negative. It only speaks focus, attention. So when people say, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, I don't have enough, what are you focused on? Not having enough. You're practicing the frequency, the focus of not having enough. If you keep constantly saying, I'm weak, I'm weak, I'm weak, I'm weak, what are you focusing on? Weakness? Or if you say, I'm not weak, I'm not weak, I'm not weak, I'm not weak, And it really goes to what are you saying behind what you are saying, right? What is the attention behind the thought? Because that's what's key. It's the attention behind the thought. So you want to get the intention of being the thing that you're talking about. Being the thing that you're talking about. But if you can let go of the emotion and just focus it on the thing, like when you were saying your ABCs, it didn't matter if you were saying it, happy or sad. The fact that you kept repeating the ABCs is the reason why you learned them. No one cares if you said your times tables from a gleeful, because some people just didn't like math. But because they kept going over the flashcards, because they repetitively kept reciting the times table is the reason why you remembered it. Even when you get behind the wheel of a car for the first time, you're nervous, you're scared, you want to be hyper-focused. The car doesn't care if you're nervous while driving it. The car only cares that you know how to drive it. That's all the car cares. It don't care if you're fearful, if you're nervous, if you're scared, if you're excited. It doesn't care. It doesn't. Do you know how to start it up? Do you know what a brake and a gas is? Do you know how to put it in reverse and put it in drive? Do you know how to do that? That's all it cares about. Gotta practice the new mindset. Yep. So I can't pay attention. That's all you pay is attention. That's all you ever have to pay is attention. All you have to do is pay attention. Because attention is free. It costs you nothing. Yeah, when Neville talks about assuming the feeling, he's talking about taking on the naturalness, the thought of. It's not about feelings, it's about feeling. But that's more of a knowing. That's more of a naturalness. It's normalcy. And how do you make something normal to you? You practice it. Something becomes normal to you because you keep doing it over and over again. Then what do we say? It becomes what? Second nature. It becomes a part of you, right? We call it second nature. Man, he do that because you practice it so much, you don't have to think about it, right? Like, now that you have practiced driving the car so much, do you have to get excited to go drive your car to do it? No, because you practiced it so much, now you don't have to think about it because you did it so much. And now it's a part of you. So when you practice the thought of being successful, or the thought of having money flowing into you like a current that never stops flowing, then money will be like a current that never stops flowing. Because what? You've practiced that belief. You've practiced that assumption. That's why when he talks about meditation or prayer, right? And people say, well, I can't pray or I can't meditate. It's just like a muscle, right? With anything that you want to be great at, you practice it, right? You do it over and over again. Because we forgot who we were, and now we're remembering who we were. And how do we remember who we are? We have to be it. In order to be it, when you be something, you do it, right? I am that. So then what? I express it. And how do I express it? By doing it. Do I have to make it do? Do I have to make it do? No, it naturally does. It naturally does. Because you don't make a baby grow, right? Once the sperm meets the egg in the belly, in the womb of the woman, is the woman making the baby grow? No. The baby is growing all on its own. When you put the seed in the ground, do you make the seed germinate and die and become the thing that it is intended? No. You don't do anything. You just plant the seed. So this is what the etymology of feeling is. The etymology of feeling: to touch, perceive, or sense. See how it's not about emotions? That's why Neville, when he talks about feeling as the secret, he will always talk about the five senses, that you feel something in your mind, right? So when I don't know if you ever heard him describe his manifestations, right? So when he wanted to be in Barbados, he went to sleep in Barbados. So what did he do? He used his five senses in his mind. He could smell the air. He could see the trees. He was laying in his bed, right? When he wanted to go back to the States after being in Barbados, but didn't get the round trip ticket, and his brother got mad at him, like, how do you not make sure that you're in New York to get your round trip ticket? And they were told by, the shipping, the ship company or the boat company, whatever, that there were no more, they didn't have any more rooms available or cabins available for him to go. What did he do? He said he went and envisioned himself holding on to the rail, smelling the sea salt. He didn't emotionalize it. He felt it. That's what he means by feeling is a secret. He felt the boat. He felt the sea. He felt the wind of the sea. He smelt the sea. Like, that's what he used the five senses to make it real to him. It wasn't about if he felt good about it or he was excited about it. He made it real to him. So that's how some people create. They create a scene. They go to the end and they see themselves doing the thing that says, I am that, I have that, I am experiencing that. Now, can you use emotions? Of course. You can use emotions. It's not wrong to use emotions. I'm just saying it's not necessary. But you can use any tool in your tool shed that's going to help you, right? Because some people do feel like unless they feel good about it, it's not going to happen for them. That's their law. Their law says, I must be excited. If I'm not excited, then I'm not going to get it. Well, that's their law. That doesn't have to be your law. Your law doesn't have to be, oh, I must feel good about it in order for it to happen. No, that's their law. You discover what works for you. So for you, it may be every time I write it down, it happens. Every time I put pen to paper and I make, a story about it, it happens. Yep, I am the tool. I am the tool. That's what I say. That's why I just speak it. Speaking it is enough for me. And if it's something that I'm feeling like I'm putting on a pedestal and I'm making it bigger than me, then that's when I have to rewrite the story, right? I have to take the desire off the shelf and bring it down to my level. Because some of us have put our desires on pedestals. We put them way, way, way on the top shelf, right? Like, you go and buy liquor, you have the top shelf alcohol, then you have the lower, you have the middle, then you have the bottom shelf, right? Some of us have put our desires at the top shelf out of reach, and we got to bring them down to us, right? We got to bring them down and stop putting them above us and make them one with us, right? And so how do you bring it down and make it one with it? You have to normalize it. You got to stop making it feel like it's something that's outside of you. Normalize it. Make it natural to you. So how do you do this? Talk to yourself. Talk as though you're already the person. Speak those things that be not as though they were. So that brings the desire from out there to in here. Now you're taking it from not being above you, but being one with you. When you talk about it and you keep talking about it until what? It makes it natural. Just like driving a car. You keep driving the car until what? It's natural for you to drive the car where you what? You don't have to think about driving the car. Now your desire is natural. You don't have to think about it anymore because now it's a part of you. Thank you, June. We cannot be afraid to talk to ourselves. Some of us get so, discouraged because, oh my goodness, this just seems too big. It just seems too big. I just don't know how. You're not supposed to know how. You're supposed to just talk to yourself as though it's there. And you keep talking to yourself as though it's there. And you keep talking to yourself as though it's there until when it's there. Until it's there. And then, and you're on to the next thing. That's what we talk about meditation. I know people want to tell you meditate means to not think. I don't know how you not think. I don't, people say they do it, I guess, but then they tell me they got to upload. So so you really weren't thinking? How did you get an upload? How did you get a download? Because your thoughts, you were thinking. Like, stop it. Like, what? Yeah, I got to download. You were always having thoughts. And when you have a certain thought, other thoughts match that thought. That's why they call it the law of attraction, because you keep attracting the same type of thought to you. So if you have the thought that life is difficult and hard and I must have barriers and hurdles and go through rings of fire in order to get my blessing, then guess what? Your mind is going to create hardship, difficulty, hurdles, mountains to climb, rings of fire to go through, hot coals to walk upon. Like, that's what you're going to be. Every time you get something, you're going to have to work hard for it. If you say nothing in my life ever comes easy, well, guess what? Nothing in your life will ever come easy. Until you change the story, you got to tell a different story. Oh, yes. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Yes, I'm always thinking what I'm meditating. Yes, I love that. I'll have some of the best combos with me, myself, and I. And that's what it is. And we just got to stop complicating it. It's so simple. It's so simple, right? Just pay attention to what you're thinking about. Pay attention to what you're saying about yourself. Because you are the law of your life. You create the laws of your experience. And there's really only one law, and that's the law of love, the law of being. Because to be is to love is to be. And so when you fully embrace yourself, love yourself, and love who you are, the being that you are, the consciousness that is, the I am, that is from the beginning, that is eternal, infinite, which means it has no beginning and it has no end. And so then you have to ask yourself, where does my wealth start? It starts in my mind. Where does my mind start? It has no starting point. So that means wealth has no starting point. Wealth is infinite, which means it has no beginning, it has no end. It is always constant. It is a continuous overflow. It's always happening, right? Because life is a happening. Things are always happening, right? Energy doesn't rest. Energy is always moving, is always in action. That's why Neville reminds us that God doesn't react, the devil does. Doubt reacts, God acts. God is active, energy is active. You affect life, or you can be affected by life. You get to choose. When you choose to act, then your world must respond. Because everything responds to what? The command of God, and you are God. What are you commanding life to respond to? And it's going to give you exactly what you believe to be true. So if you really, really think that life is really a struggle, you will find yourself struggling for everything. Nothing will come easy for you because you think life is supposed to be hard. So everything you do, making a decision will be hard for you. Deciding what to eat will be hard for you. Deciding what to wear, where every day you got to try to figure out, got to spend an hour on what to wear to work tomorrow. Because nothing comes easy. You just can decide, yeah, I'm going to wear that. And let that be it. Nope. You got to be like, no, maybe I should. No, maybe not. You spending an hour just to get yourself together. Because nothing comes hard to you. Nothing comes easy. Everything got to be hard. Cooking got to be hard. Cleaning got to be hard. Driving got to be hard. You got to be honking at people. People are always trying to cut you off. You always trying to, everything just got to be hard. Like life is just difficult all the time. Hey, June, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. My phone just rose up on me.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm glad it's back in effect.
Yes. So I was saying, I was sitting there with myself, and I came to the realization. Well, what I ended up hearing was you was eating other people's food.
Right.
So I kind of just I sat there for a minute. I'm like, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. And I was like, okay, this is not a physical thing. And when I really started sitting there thinking, I'm like, so I asked myself, I'm like, what was you doing in that time? Like, how was you moving? How was you like? And that, oh, I really like what you said when you said the devil react, God acts. I asked myself, how was you acting? Because I know in that time of my life, I was literally in a God mind, because everything, I mean, literally anything that I would think, it literally was happening for me. Like I was just like it was like my happiest moment. I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I have to understand where I lost myself at. Like, how did I do that? And as I kept sitting there thinking, it was like, because you was eating other people's food. And I'm like, wow. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, because I was so used to being alone with myself, that I was always teaching myself and allowing myself to be with my own thoughts, that when I started, I guess, functioning more often with others than I would normally have, I started eating the food they was partaking in. And in the midst of that, I wasn't aware of, I guess I lost awareness. I'm going to say that I must have lost awareness because I did too much partaking in other people's company, when that wasn't something that I was used to. But at some point, like, but I've always been a loner. So even if I go to family gatherings, I will always find myself like drifting away and being alone. Like I could be in a room and be not in the room with them, because it'd be like I never felt like, even with me being in my family, it's like we're not on the same page. Like I think different, I dress different, they think of me different, and I accepted that, and I lived in that. Like I thrived on that. Like, and for a lot of them, it irritated them. But for me, I mean, I fed off that. Like, if I came in a room and somebody felt some type of way, like, it literally did not bother me. But I realized, like, as I started being around them, and I did like being around people. Like I liked the energy that I brought to people. I liked how people liked me being around. And somewhere along there, like you said, I made the poker. I let the
Oh man, you went pause again. Hey, Glaze Innovations. We can't hear you again, June. Man. Oh man, maybe our phone froze again. Oof. So every time she tried to tell that story, that phone go bloop. Nope, you're not getting that out today. You gotta rewrite the story about the phone, right? Hey, Mia. How are you? How are you? Yeah, so we're over here talking about, what story are we telling, right? And be aware of the story that you're telling. And I was given the definition of feeling, with the etymology of feeling, right? Because I know that people like to emotionalize their desires, which is completely okay. It's absolutely nothing wrong with them. If you say that's how you manifest, that's how you manifest. If you feel like you have to be on a high flying disc, you have to be in a good feeling, you have to be so positive about it, hey, absolutely nothing wrong with it. However, when Neville Goddard was talking about feeling, he was talking about, so the etymology of feeling means to touch, perceive, or sense. It says it's from the Old English word feelan, Felan. He said it evolved. It evolved to describe both physical sensations and eternal emotional experiences, and eventually the act of having opinions or expressing sympathy. That's what it evolved into. But originally, it meant to touch, perceive, or sense, right? And that's what when I was telling you guys, that's how Neville Goddard would use his mind to create, right? He also talks about remember when, so telling a story of how you used to be versus how you are now, right? So when you're desiring to manifest a certain specific event, you would say, I remember when, man, I remember when I couldn't even afford to go on vacation. Now I go on luxury vacations. Now I'm renting out islands and yachts, and I'm fine. I'm dining at 5-star, or I'm booking 5-star resorts. I remember when, all I ate was, Mickey D's and Culver's and, Taco Bell. Now I'm eating, at Michelin star restaurants, 5-star restaurants. I have a chef to come in to prepare my food. My life has really come a long, long way. Man, I can't even remember what a McDonald's burger tastes like. I ain't had a McDonald's burger in 10 years. Oh my God. Like, that's the remember when, right? And you talk about it as though the life that you want, is it in existence now, right? I remember when, I used to have to shop at thrift stores, and, I was always penny pinching and budgeting. Now, I shop at Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth. I still shop at the clearance rack now. Don't get it twisted. I will give me, something that used to cost $5,000. They got it on sale for 1,300. Oh, I'm gonna scoop it up because I still like a good deal. I still like a sale, right? Like, you can talk from that perspective. Whatever you want your life to be, talk. That's a great way to communicate and to speak those things that be not as though they were. So you remembering what your life used to be in comparison to the life you want it, the way you want it to be, and speak as though that life is current. Like, that's your reality. Right? Yeah. Yes, Joe. Yeah. And so even with the likes of Neville Goddard, Dr. Joseph Murphy, Florence Scovel Shinn, Esther Hicks, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Wayne Dyer, Alan Watts, all of those, Emmett Fox, all of those that we, hear from, learn from, read their books, right? You still have to find yourself in those teachings, right? Because every technique is not for you. But you can use every technique for you, because guess what? You are the technique. I realize I don't have to create a scene, but but because remembering it when it's just using words. Oh yes, I can use that because it's only calling those things that be not as though they were. But I know that it's not necessary for me to visualize a scene. That's not necessary for me. But others, they feel like, yes, I have to see myself doing it. And then that makes me believe it. But then the script says, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. Right? Speak the word. The centurion said, just speak the word and my servant shall be healed. And what did the Christ say? Oh, I haven't seen as greater faith in all of Israel, such as this man. He said, oh, it's done. Your servant healed. Hey, all I got to do is say it. Yes, all you got to do is say it, and that should be sufficient. That's all you got to. That's all I got to do is say it. All I got to do is, yes, all you got to do is say it. All you got to do is say yes. All you got to do is say yes. Just say yes. Say yes to the dress. Say yes to the money. Say yes to success. Say yes to health. Say yes to wealth. Say yes to prosperity. Say yes to relationships, symbiotic relationships, loving relationships. Say yes, say yes, say yes. Just speak it. Yes. However, A-Town, the mustard seed has nothing to do with how small it is. It's about what the mustard seed becomes. The desire represents the seed, right? So the seed, right? So just say that the seed is health. So it has nothing to do with how small, because health is not quantifiable in that way, right? I'm a little sick. I know people say I'm a little sick. What's a little sick? Either you're sick or you're not. Like what? You hear people talking like that. I'm a little under the weather. Either you're under the weather or you ain't. Which one is it? How you a little under the weather? Either you're sick or you ain't sick. Pick a side. Pick a side. Pick a side. I wish that you were hot or cold, but you lukewarm, so I gotta spill you out of my mouth. Pick a side. Which one is it? I'm well. Okay, then be well. Be well. Don't be talking about I'm a little sick. I'm a little under the weather. What? What's a little? That just means you sick. But you trying not to claim sickness. Ain't no little. You a lot. You all there. You sick. That's okay. But not to claim health. Claim health. Oh, okay. Cool. Because there are no small or big desires, right? I mean, right? There's no such thing as a small desire or a big desire. We quantify that, consciousness doesn't. There's no such thing as a small desire. All desires are equal. All desires are gifts. It's a gift from you to you. All seeds are gifts. Yep, no in between. Yep, no effort, right? You don't need this. Requires no effort. The effortless way, just surrender to the desire. Surrender to the gift by how? Accepting it. How do you surrender to your desire? Accept the desire. That's how you surrender to it. If I'm giving you a gift, you either accept it or reject it. Are you going to accept the gift? Are you going to receive the gift? Right? Just accept it. You're already that what you desire to be. Just accept that you already are it. You don't have to do anything to make it so. It's already so. It's already so. Just recognize it. Yep, I am that. Yep, I am whatever I say I am. Who do I say that I am? I am this. I am. I am. I am. I am that I am. As Popeye would say, I am that I am, and that's all that I am. Hold on.
Go and fucking suck this, you stupid fucking bitch.
What a wonderful person. Like, who cares? Who's never seen a penis? Like, really? Like he did something. Ooh, you did something. Hey, Nikki. Nikki Nicole, are you there?
Oh yes, hi. I didn't
Hi.
know it was coming up, but since I'm the only one here still, but that was a really strange person that was just making it said something. I was like, what was that? I
Yeah.
like the way you handled it. Because it's true. We don't have to be bothered by every little fly or gnat that glitters by. And it's like,
Mm,
why are we overreacting to everything? It's a big issue. And
right.
so I've been talking, I'm a daycare provider,
Oh,
have my
okay.
own business. And
Nice.
I always tell people part of my business is training the parents. And, because they're over here overreacting to everything. I say, do your kid act like Bart Simpson? Is that the proper behavior is a child supposed to have? Like everybody thinks it's funny. It's not funny. You train a child from a young age. You laugh when they do something wrong. That's silly. You have
Mm,
to let them know. It's not about right and wrong. It's about we all felt uncomfortable when you did that. We might have felt you stepped into a dangerous position and we were like, hey, don't touch the fire or whatever it is. We had a reaction to it. It was normal. It was just a normal autonomous reaction to what you were doing. It isn't saying you're bad.
right.
It's saying this is a dangerous situation. Come closer to me. Don't run away. Stay close. So we have all these rules. Don't tell the kid don't get angry. Don't chastise. It's like it's not all just about chastise. This is a normal life. A child should have some concerns. Like you learning to take care of yourself and others as you grow. So, in my daycare, all the children behave very well and we still have fun and get wild, but we don't get dangerous. We don't run out the room and things like that. Everyone has to know there are some basic boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And I get really weirded out because when you're around certain people, once they don't like something you're doing, now they're at your talking to your manager. Now they're trying to get you fired. It's like stay out of my business and stay out of my
Right.
way.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
my
don't
way.
like people like that. Now you so mad you're like you're trying to get me in trouble, and that's gonna make me try to get you in trouble next. But there are different aspects to it when you're working with children, and also when I was learning through college about childcare in America, I learned some things that don't make any sense, and I said to myself, this is how we get indoctrinated to the wrong thing, though. You know what I mean? Just little tricky stuff in the lessons
Mm,
where it goes against natural, ordinary expressions that you would normally have and experiences. I can't think of an example exactly, but it was just an overall general feeling about some of their teaching is not quite right. And then you'll go and you'll learn just a little bit, 1 or 2 pages on Reggio Emilio, Montessori teaching and teachings from other countries. Because otherwise, the doctrine is for America, teaching in America. You know what I mean? United States. So once you see a little bit of what's going on in these other countries, which they only show you a very little bit, and then you say, "Oh, well, that sounds right. That makes sense. Where's that incorporated in what the U.S. is doing?" Well,
mm,
it isn't. So then you have to incorporate it yourself as a leader, and say, okay, this is more like normal, where you teach children learn emergent learning, where they learn a little bit and then they get interested or have more questions or want to know more. And so there's a lot of little different nuances, but they don't lean on it a lot in the United States. So
mm.
most people wouldn't know that because they're not educated in education.
Got
you
you.
know they
Mm,
just go to school, they go and do their own thing. They never know what were the underlying principles that led to the education they were receiving at school. So
mm.
it's that part of it is very interesting as well. But all this was in play before I ever was born. So I just make sure that I keep focused on what is real to me and
Right.
what the signals I'm getting from within on what is right and what is wrong and why we have these boundaries and how to better express without using the word right and wrong. So that's what
Mm,
I'm learning, that new language. And that's part of what you're helping me with because I know the language, but I don't converse with it in it all the time, right?
got
It's like, right. So you're talking to people that you hang around with, your church, your your friends, your school, your family, they don't speak any of the language. So you don't get to practice, you know. But even while they're not speaking the language, you have to be careful not to get inundated or get, you know, where you can't see your reality for what everybody else seems to be on the same page about. So it is very interesting for me. And it's kind of difficult too because I had my church family, of course, but while I was in church, you know, I couldn't talk about my true beliefs. So I found that to be a problem for me, you know, but I love the camaraderie now. My church family was one of the best groups of people I ever met. They really were non-judgmental, but when you're in a Christian, you can't talk against Christianity, not even against it, but you can't express your own beliefs or you could get kicked out of the fold.
Right.
Now you're not enjoying Sunday dinner in town hall, you know, in fellowship hall. Now you ain't in fellowship no more. Okay, don't let even a little bit of it slip out that you believe in mind science. Now you is the devil. You never got kicked out of church so fast. No place, no fast. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh Lord. Because then when you do that, I'm going to say, you a sorry sucker anyway. Forget you. And you don't, that's what's wrong with you. Because so don't make me turn on nobody. In the name of Jesus, don't make me turn on nobody. So I'm not going to put them in that situation. You know what I mean? I already know what I'm dealing with. We're going to be kicking each other out, you know. So I try to be cool with it so we can have the family life. And, you know, I wanted to support and experience and learn and understand. But at the end, you know, I just went on my own way. And I left the church. I never went back so far.
Oh, okay. How long have you left the church? How long has it been?
It's been about 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I went and visited a couple of times. It never recaptured me. But like the friends I had at my church, my real church family for 15 years, they are the best people. They are the salt of the earth.
Nice.
Those people are the kindest people. They brought me in like I never felt like I belonged so much in my adult life. That was still one of the most, you know, supportive situations I was ever in.
Oh, that's
And
good.
I grew a lot, and I had a lot of stability and strength that I was able to, even though I was you know, I was exploring my own beliefs. You know, I still had that church family as far as my go-to, my rock. You know, as far as socially.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's why it's not about the individual people, right? It's just about the theology or the teaching itself, right? Because you will find those that they go to church, they're part of the church, they're part of the ministry, they're part of the organization, but they really are not adoptive of the whole religious dogma, right? Some of them are just truly just they love Jesus, but they're not there to judge anyone. They're not there to put anybody in hellfire, right? They're not there
That
trying
part.
to condemn every move that you make. You know, they're like, God is love. I don't know about that because I know I ain't going to hell, so I ain't trying to put nobody else there, right? Not everybody,
Right.
you know, is operating from that mindset. And that's a beautiful thing when you see those who think like that.
Yes, so I have a friend from my church family. We both ended up moving to the same new state, which was wonderful. We loved each other so much. We were so happy. And so I was just trying to, you know, broach a little conversation. I said, I heard that Oprah Winfrey's doing a meditation program. I'm so excited. I'm going to try it out. And she said, Oprah Winfrey meditation. What religion is that?
Really? Wait. Oprah Winfrey who?
Meditation.
Oprah Winfrey has a meditation?
She has a little meditation program that she started years ago.
Oh,
And
really?
I
I never
started,
heard of it.
it's called
Okay.
the 21-day meditation challenge.
So
And
what
it
is
was
her
beautiful.
meditation like?
It's really beautiful. It really is. And it actually it leans on Deepak Chopara's well, I don't know how to say it, his philosophies.
Okay, yeah, I
Deepak.
know he's been on her show a few times.
Yes. And so they ended up collaborating on it because she wanted to share, I'm sure, I'm just guessing, she wanted to share that meditative life with people, you know, more people to learn about it. And Deepak already had his school of health that he already was running and bringing up. And so that just helped the two of them kind of share their message bigger
Oh, okay.
when
And
they
what's the
joined
name of it
together.
again? What's the name of it again?
It's called Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey 21-day meditation challenge.
Okay.
I still do it all the time on YouTube, and I've been doing it for about 10 years on and
Okay,
off.
is it like a direct? It's
Guided.
a guided. Okay, guided.
It is a
Okay,
guided,
so
but what's so beautiful is that, Deepak explains the whole philosophy before you start to meditate. So when he goes over the different characteristics and elements and different emotions and whatever the topic is, when he talks about emotions, like you were talking about earlier, then he explains what emotions are, their place in your life, some examples of how you experience it, and then talks about the meditative, about the actual philosophy of spirituality that pertains to that emotions, and then you meditate on it. So it's very good. I love it.
oh,
So
nice.
I just was just telling her about it because I'm like, maybe we can meditate together or whatever.
Hmm.
I like to do more things with my friends than just talk about TV shows or whatever. I just
Oh,
like,
okay.
can we be active? Can we be productive? When will we get to the meat of the relationship? All the things that we can do together, how we can be so amazing. That's what be inside my heart. So I just talked to her about that. I said, I want to do some meditation with Oprah Winfrey's meditation program. She said, what religion is that? And I was very pushed back by that because I feel like I said before, you cannot tell your Christian friends that you're going to be meditating with Oprah because now
Right, right,
you're
right. They
out
want they
the
want you to put it
clique.
in the chat, Nikki. They want you to put it in the chat. I think they want to look into what you're talking about.
Okay, I sure will put it in the chat. It's like you're talking like you. They think now you're devil worshiping now, and you're out of the clique just that
Yeah,
fast.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
out of the clique just that fast.
Says she talking about Oprah Winfrey meditating. Like, what you talking?
Man, she said, what religion was that? I said, uh-oh. She's one of those people who think you can only meditate on the Bible scriptures. Because that's what
Yeah.
they say. Every time I say meditate, they say, well, don't make sure you're meditating on your Bible scriptures and nothing else. They tell you
And
that in a minute
nothing
up in
else.
that church.
He said nothing else.
And nothing else. I had one of the leaders of the church tell me that. A woman who was trying to become the pastor when the church don't believe in no women pastors. She
Mm.
wanted to be the pastor. And of course, we all wanted her to be the pastor because we were her community. So we trusted her. Hey, she could be the pastor. We didn't care. But when she was talking that kind of doctrines, I was like, I know what I'm dealing with, though. These closed-minded Christians.
Mm. Yeah, that's why you just gotta discover your own path. It's really not
I,
about what someone else thinks. It's really about what you think.
I really have it now. And I feel good about it. And I'm glad I found you too. And all my other, mentors that I go to get information, and yours is one of the best ones. I had asked once in the chat, where did you learn your mind science, ideas and philosophy? How did you put all of it together? Because you answer all the questions so well and so simply. And I see our main problem is with education, that we haven't been educated on the language we need to describe what's happening with us in life, right?
Yeah.
We only have the Bible to go to describe what's happening to us in life. We don't get the education of spirituality. We don't get true education of the body's parts, the body parts. It's
Hmm.
not just arms, legs, and everything else. You got the amygdala and the brain and two lobes. You just don't even know anything in the end. You know what I mean? So it's an
Yeah, I mean,
education
the
that really
information is
needs to
out
be.
there if you really want to deep dive into it. There are many places and really a lot of books or tools, videos if you really want to know more about, that part just doesn't excite me. I don't really care about what the oblongata or whatever it's called, or what the prefrontal cortex. I don't really care about what that's doing. I don't. I mean, it's so for some people it's very interesting. They want to understand how the neurology connects to the mind and the consciousness, and how that all plays a part in how we create. It's just not my lane. So, when I just stick to my lane. I stick to the things that resonate with me. But there are it's a slew of information out there, right? And once you find it, because once you put it out there that you really have interest in it, then you'll find it starts to find you. You'll find it'll just find you, right? And so, I know one guy that I listen to, Minister Jew, he touches on the brain aspects of it. His YouTube channel is the Imagination Guru, And so he'll give you a lot of the science behind it. He'll give you the different experiments that they've done to prove this science that, you know, that the mind is creative. But most of my knowing is through application and studying Neville Goddard, Dr. Joseph Murphy, Florence Scovel Shinn, Reverend Ike, Bill Donahue. I read Catherine Ponder. I read Wallace D. Wattles. Like, I read a slew of law of attraction books. I read Emmett Fox. I've read Allen. I've read, you know, a lot of different authors. So I leaned more into Neville Goddard and Dr. Joseph Murphy because they were coming from a biblical perspective, putting, you know, the Bible in its proper place as being psychological and not literal or historical. And so, and really application, like, right, like once you take this truth and you apply it to your life and you see the transformation that happens in your life, that's how you really know, right? And like people say, you know a thing if you can explain it. Because if you really can't explain it, do you really know it? Because how can't you explain the thing that you love? How you love this thing, but you can't tell me about it. So do you really know it? And it's not that you have to be able to explain it to teach it, but to explain it to share it. You know, not everybody, I know it's not called to quote unquote teach, but I don't even like to say teach. I like to just say share. We're all remembering together, right? And my whole desire was to make it simple. Simplification was so important to me because it can get muddied, it can get complicated, it can seem more complex than it is, but it really is simple. But the reasoning mind wants to complicate it. You know, it really is simple and it really is easy. It really is the effortless way when you can train your mind to get out of the way of the how. When you can just get your mind to stop trying to figure out how and just let things be. And that's a practice. Like, you have to practice yourself. Practice not trying to know. I gotta know. No, you don't have to know. But I've always been that type of person. Like when I would drive and, be an accident or something, I hate Gaber's delays. I'll be like, what are y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna get out y'all car and go help the other side? No, you're not. Keep it moving. Stop being so nosy. Everybody's so nosy about what somebody else got going on. Pray Godspeed that all is well with everyone that's involved and keep it moving. But people always got to be looking, trying to see what's going on. You are not about to do anything. Keep the traffic moving. But that's just me. Because I be like, why everybody so nosy? Mind your business. Hey, Tim B. hey, sunshine.
So does that just show a little bit about how people are in the wrong frame of mind because they're so busy slowing down, trying to look over and trying, to me, it's like seemingly caring or seemingly to show an interest in what happened. But everybody's thinking something different, so I can never know what anyone else is thinking. But I guess with me, if I'm slowing down, I'm just being nosy. I want to be like, well, what happened?
Yeah, I know.
Can I help? Are they okay? But ultimately, I'm really concerned about, dang, how slow is it going to be through this pass? I got to pay attention to everybody slowing down. I don't want to get in an accident myself.
But everybody doing what you're doing.
I want to get back to what I was doing. And
right.
I would honestly, personally, I'm like you. I would just drive straight on by and say, oh, God, keep them. But in order to seem so caring and slow down a moment for a serious situation or whatever it is, it's like weird. But ultimately, it's about a frame of mind and a mindset that may need to be balanced a little bit better, because we need to make sure we're in the right emotions at all times and that we're not picking up emotions just based on something we see on the side of the road or what have you. But ultimately, it becomes we become balanced when we are looking at things from the proper perspective.
Yeah.
And I think that Christianity, some of the teachings and the philosophies, and I'm not just saying Christianity on its own. Mm-hmm. I just mean all over and in general.
Yeah.
It just gets people thinking about things that are not, I guess, not balanced, the not proper balanced way to look at life. Because we're not understanding the mind science of it. We're not understanding the mind, the consciousness, and that part and emotions and why they're happening. We don't, you know what I mean? I'm getting better now that I know why my emotion is happening, and I can use some of the words you're giving me to describe something when I'm going through it. I'm actually do so much better, and I feel the difference in my life, in my aliveness when I do that versus when I feel an emotion, I stuff it down and keep on going, or however I normally process emotion, which is go shopping or whatever. I think I just need a loaf of bread. I didn't know. I'm just reacting to I'm not processing my emotions properly.
Yep. That's okay. That's okay. It's a practice. It's a
It's
practice.
a practice. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
practicing with you too. And thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So we're gonna bring Mia. Hello,
Hey,
Mia.
happy Sunday.
Happy Fun Day.
Right. Yes, I just want to get on, I always like to dip in the conversation and just add to it just things that have been going on that I've been seeing. Your topics. I agree with you all the time. It is a manifestation book, and I said a prayer the other day, and I just made sure I just set my demands on the table. I was thankful for what I wanted. I was thankful for already having what I desired. And I make it a point to kind of check my energy, and we don't understand that that's how we make our manifestations come. It's that part of the control that we want. You know how historically we want to do things like, I'm gonna do something to make it happen. The thing that we have to do is to
Oh,
just
say
be
that.
who we need to
That.
be. So, and I just got a big blessing come to me just the other day, and my energy, and I realized so much, even like when I'm around other people, because that's where it matters the most. And like my energy really directs my day and how people interact with me and how people feel around me. My energy is the power of how my day is going to go. And when I'm bouncing off different people throughout the day, I am the director of kind of how that's going to go. And you think, well, I'm coming across all these different people, all these different personalities. How can I be the controller of all of those things? And you realize that you kind of are. Because even when you come across someone who you might have deemed someone who you might in the past have called like difficult. Oh, this person's always so difficult. Every time I go and deal with them at work, they're just rude and difficult. When you are who you need to be, you really don't get that from them. And I realized that they are a mirror, and you always kind of talk about that people are your mirror. So I got a blessing recently that just kind of came to me because, I did a prayer of abundance and, about financial abundance and just, I'm okay. All my finances are in order. I have everything I need. I have all the money I need. Thank you for all of the money and abundance, and a coworker just came to me and said, hey, I know someone who needs a BCBA behavior analyst. Can I give them your contact information? I'm like, sure, yeah. And they gave it to me, and it's like a really great business opportunity that have access to. I'm like, oh my God, this is really awesome. And
Yes.
and it only happened because when I'm around this person, I have good energy, and they felt like I know someone who needs who you are, and I like you enough, I want to refer them to you. And if I was around this person and let's say I had a nasty demeanor, let's say I wasn't open, let's say I wasn't being who I need to be, they wouldn't have maybe wanted to share that with me. You know?
Well, you're right. Well, I mean, you created it, right? They are you
Right,
out, right? You created the opportunity, right?
right,
You're just a channel in which the opportunity came through, right?
right.
And so that's how we appreciate. I created this. I am the reason why I am experiencing this. It's not
Yes,
anything they did. It's because of who I am.
exactly. I had the energy. I made them want to do that for me because of who I am when I'm around them.
Yeah, they could not do it. They think they did it on their own, but it was really you or the puppet
Right.
master.
Because when they got approached to, hey, you know any BCBAs, their mind thought of me because of how I made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's the important thing to be and how you interact with the world. And that's how you make it easy for your blessings to come to you and how you attract them, being who you need to be to attract the desires of your heart. That's your only job.
Yep. Yep. Be you. Be yourself. Yep.
Be
And
yourself.
it's
Be a
really just
magnet.
about, I know we get caught up on, oh, you got to be nice, or you got to be kind. No, you don't. I mean, you can. You just got to know who you are. There are very
Yes.
arrogant people that we would decide was arrogant or evil, and yet they get what they want to, because
Yes.
this life is not about morality. It's
Right.
not about because, oh, you such a wonderful, beautiful spirit. Everybody is spirit.
Right.
Everybody is. And consciousness only speaks attention. So if the
Yes.
evil person is giving their attention to their desire, they are going to get it. Even if we think they shouldn't have it. Even if they like, how did that low down dirty dog? They the most evil, scandalous person, but they the president of the company.
That's why you
You
can't
kind
get
of
caught up in the why. That's why you can't get caught up in judgment, because people don't understand that that's why you're the I am and you're the operant power. When you see people who maybe you deem are undeserving of the blessings, and why do they get all of that? They don't see whatever they're doing as wrong. So
that
they
part.
get it.
Yep.
Judgment is yours.
Yep.
Right or wrong is yours. You're the judge of your life. That's why when
You
you're
see, and the
not in
thing is,
alignment,
people want
yeah.
to. Here's the thing: when you own that you're the bitch,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna get everything you want. When you own that you're the bitch, though,
Yep.
you can't be trying to be the bitch and ain't really the bitch and ain't really about that life, but you're trying to
Yep.
pretend to be about that life. That's when life gonna catch you up.
Yep.
So the fake gangster always gets caught up, but the
Yep.
real gangster, oh, the people that are about that life, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, oh yeah, they play
Yeah.
that part fully.
Absolutely.
It's the pretenders that get caught up. The pretending to be a gangster, pretending to be about that life. Oh, you really
Hmm.
ain't about that life. You trying to play a role. Yeah. So
People love
Like
authenticity.
Tupac, like Biggie, right? Like they were playing. Tupac wasn't about that life. It wasn't his life. He was not a gangster. That wasn't who he was. So his life caught up with him trying to play that role. But I know real gangsters. They still walking.
Real gangsters are smart, not in prison.
They ain't pretending
You
to
know
be
what
a
I'm saying?
gangster. They really about that life.
You're
And they
really
still
about that life. And people really love authenticity.
yes.
And that's the real thing. Be who you are. And someone asked me the other day, literally yesterday, asked me what is and I want to hear your perspective on this, because I struggle with it, and I don't know how to answer it without sounding arrogant to the outside world. So someone asked me, what's your biggest insecurity? And I'm so healed into this journey, Miss Toya, I couldn't think of it.
That part.
And I'm not saying this to think I'm perfect and to think I'm the most beautiful, because that's not what this is. But why don't I think
But
I'm
why
the
can't
most
you think
beautiful?
that? But why
I low
can't you
key
think you're
do.
perfect and that you're the most
I
beautiful?
know,
You
and that's
are,
my
man. Here's the
question.
thing: if
And I
are
told the
you the
guy,
main
I said I
character
can't
in
think
this
of
story,
one.
or aren't you?
I mean, Miss Toya, and this is why I wanted to know your perception, because I told the guy, and I was like, I really can't think of one. I've done a lot of self work, and I love me, and I'm good. And he was like, really? Well, you're the one in a million that doesn't have any insecurities. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
I'm
here
just
we
like,
go.
why do I have to be broken to bond with you?
Right. Why do I have to be less than?
And that's what I
Right.
want you to talk about, because in friend groups, in work, and even in dating, when your guys are asking questions, I don't know how to answer those things, because I don't walk around thinking about my insecurities anymore. I don't walk around thinking that I'm not whole and what I need to fix. And I don't want to trauma bond with people on brokenness just to make me relate to them.
That part. That
So what
part.
do you think? How do we
Yeah, and here's
navigate
the
through
thing.
that?
That was never a conversation between me and my husband when we were courting, when we were dating. Like we were so just talking about life, enjoying one another, and really
Right.
like, man, I really like being around you because I can be myself. I don't have to pretend to be this. And we may
Right.
have talked about, oh, when we were other relationships and not being able to be fully ourselves, be goofy,
Yes.
do this
Hmm.
stupid, like he would say, like the lady he dated prior to me, was always trying to correct his behavior. Was always trying to
Hmm.
like, why are you so silly? You just too goofy, like, and I always laughed.
Yeah.
He just made me laugh. And he loved that he made me laugh. He knew that he could be himself and he didn't have to be different.
Yes.
And so the right one comes along because, like you said, I had let go of that, that mindset. Not to say that it didn't try to creep up. I'm not gonna say it because it did. It did try to. The old mind does try to rear its ugly head. But during the time we were courting, there was no talk about, cheating, being insecure or whatever. Those things might have had. They did come back up once we were married, and it kind of the light came on it once I started on my journey. Because now you're like, I want to be completely whole, right? I want to complete,
Yeah.
then I completely, over whatever that stuff might have been. So that type of thing will come to the forefront just so you can deal with it, just so you can transmute it, just so you can change it, right? And so you can recognize it's not the outside, it's the inside. No one was making me insecure. I was creating that.
Right. And that's a whole other thing, and I don't push my views on other people, but I just try to kind of in conversations. I'm myself. I'm authentic. So I'm not going to sugarcoat things and change who I am just because of the audience. But even with not even just dating in friend groups and just in social situations, people like to talk about insecurities and brokenness. And yeah, I can talk about maybe my past, but like right now, present day, I don't pinpoint my insecurities. I don't think about insecurities. I don't have any insecurities. And why do we need to bond off of that information? And then when you say you don't, people are like, oh, you think you're perfect. Like, okay, but why don't you?
Right. Why don't you think and I get it. People think perfection means no mistakes. No, perfection means
Yes.
complete and whole. That I
Right.
am complete. I don't need you to complete me. I don't need you to make me whole. I'm complete and whole all by myself. And so you should be
Validation.
complete and whole all by yourself. I don't want
Yeah.
someone that is questioning who they are and I need to feel they'll make their cup be full. No, fill your own cup.
I mean, I'm so, and I
Because
love
two
it.
whole people, because remember how we say 50, we say 50-50. No, it should be two whole people coming together, not half a
Absolutely.
person coming together, not half a person coming together, and that makes it whole. No, two whole people need to come together to have a
Yeah.
great experience. Like, I'm not here
Exactly.
to, like you said, trauma bond. I'm not here to be your therapist. Like, no, you're
No.
not laying on
I'm not
my
here to
couch.
fill your cup, and you're not here
I'm
to
not here to
fill
fix
mine.
you, right? I'm not here to fix you. I'm not here to, stroke your ego. I'm here to see in you what I see in myself. So I'm going to see a strong being. I'm going to see someone who knows their power, who knows who they are, who operates in that knowing.
Yes. And I don't know if it's bad of me, but like validation, you know, I'm big on not wanting it and not needing it. I don't even like I just it's not big and I don't want it, because if I come into agreement with your validation, I have to now I agree that I need it and I don't want it, because you can call me pretty today, but on mad day I'm gonna be an ugly bitch.
Right, right.
But so if I agree that I need your pretty today, that means I need your ugly tomorrow when you
Yep.
mad.
Yep.
So I don't want it anyway. Thanks, cool, awesome. But I'm affirmed and that's empowering that I already have all the agreements that I need within myself. Anything you add is just extra.
Hmm.
But and that's not arrogance, that's protective. That's what God gave me.
Yeah.
And I don't need anything from the world. And when you start needing things from the world, you're gonna get broke down because the world is flip floppy. The world don't really like you.
If they build you up, they can tear you down. That's how you got to
If
build
they
yourself
build you
up.
up, they can tear you down. And the same people that build you up will tear you down. And oftentimes they build you up just so they can tear you down. I don't want your compliments. I don't need it. Nope. Bye. Mm-mm.
But you got to
Nope.
remember, there is no they.
Right.
There's no they. They are not building you up. They're not. You're creating a reality that you need validation. So you'll
Yes.
get the validation from the outside, as opposed to create the validation from within. Like, we're the creators, and we're creating every circumstance, right? So if someone is coming into your experience, now you have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. How did I create this? Because I did. They're not here by accident. They're a
Right.
mirror. They're showing me something. They're showing
And
me that I need to own who I am. I need to, and
yes.
some people will see that as a test. Oh, I'm test. it's not that you're testing, you're confirming. Stop looking at life as a struggle and something that
Yes.
you have to pass. See,
Well,
there's a
Toya, we've been having
confirmation.
to pass tests since we got here. As soon as you born, you
Damn,
got
ain't
to
you
pass
tired of
the
taking
test.
tests and quizzes
Oh
and
Lord, I gotta take an ECT
damn?
test to see if
I
I'm a
just look
strong
at it
enough
as a
newborn.
confirmation that they're actually that this is confirming who already know who I am. So I don't. So when this quote unquote test of validation comes through, I'm actually confirming I know who I am, and I don't need you to do that.
Yes, they've been testing us in this world since we got here. As soon as you born, they do a newborn test to see if you're a strong enough newborn. Like, hold on, for one, you cut my cord before I was ready. You slapped me and woke me up before I was ready. And now you tested me as a newborn. Dang. You know, life is just full of tests to make sure that we're acceptable for this world when we were already ready.
Yep.
You know? And we don't need to test ourselves, and that just comes with, are you good enough instead of just being. And you know, I've learned that that is how you just focus on yourself. It's not selfish. You need to be selfish. Be the best version of you.
The best
So
version.
you attract the best version of everyone else.
Ooh, say that.
Hey,
That's
I
it.
like that.
Ooh, ooh. So when you don't like the reflection,
And that's
break the
literally how I
mirror.
test.
Yep.
That's
You
how I
get
test how I'm doing on the inside is what I reflect. If what I'm reflecting ain't looking right, that means my inside, I ain't doing something.
just change, just shift. Just telling you to shift gears. That's all.
Cause ooh, sometimes it be looking like a horror movie on the outside. Oh Jesus. Oh, what's going on my inside? It's giving Walking Dead on the outside. Let's change this reflection. I ain't doing so good today. Let me go and see if Miss Toya is live.
You silly.
Because it's looking scary outside. But let this next person come up and chat with you. Thank
Cool,
you.
cool. Hello, exclusive. Chrissy.
Hello, how's everybody doing today?
Oh, great, great. How are you?
Good, thank you for asking. I was just coming up to ask, how do you transmute it? And what is that, if that makes sense?
Right, right. That's why I try not to use those type of words because those are more like scientific words. You know, that alchemizing, transmuting just means to change. And you change by saying something differently, saying the thing you want it to be as opposed to what it is.
So you make the negative into a positive and just like the opposite of it?
Well, don't judge it. It's not negative or positive. Just change it. So whatever you're seeing, if you don't like it, you say that it's what it is that you like. So if someone is saying to you, man, you're hard, you're difficult, or you're so rude, or you're arrogant. Why you so arrogant? Or they may be saying, man, you are the most insecure person I ever met. Oh my goodness, you have so low self-esteem. Are you kidding me? Like I just can't stand to be, if someone is saying some things that you know simply isn't the truth of who you are, you change it in your mind. You change it and you change it to, and you actually hear them saying, man, you are so confident. I love your confidence. How did you get to be that way? Oh my goodness. Do you ever people perceive your confidence as arrogance? Because a lot of times when people just know who they are like that, other people can't really seem to, accept it. And then you say, well, it's not about them accepting it, it's about me accepting it. And once I fully accept it, then they will too. So then I'm not seeking validation from them. I'm seeking validation from me for who I am. And so when I know who I am, they will too, and they will be comfortable with it because my confidence isn't to make others small, it's to inspire, not to put down. And so all you're doing, you're only changing the conversation. You're changing the story you're telling. That's transmuting. That's alchemizing. You're taking what's being said and you're changing it. That's it.
You explained it so simple too.
Oh,
But I've heard the words before and I'm like, why is we overcomplicate this?
yep. Yeah.
I'm
And I
not
try to
doing
catch myself to not use that terminology. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it does spill over. I'm glad that you shed a light on that because my whole point is to keep it simple. And sometimes we use words that just, it's like, why? Like, right. We just want to show that we're a walking dictionary or that we're a
right.
thesaurus, right? We just want to show how,
Right.
how big words we know.
There'd be a million steps to it too. A million
Right.
complicated steps too. Like and not one step in that is easy. We can just overcome.
Because if I can get you not to understand, so I'm causing a problem, guess what I get to do? Guess what I get to do?
What?
Sell you a solution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you can't figure this out on your own, girl. You need me. Then you know you needed me. Come on, let me do a one-on-one with you.
Oh
You need me to help you.
wow.
Because you can't figure this out on your own. Yes, you can.
We
Yes, you can.
all around other people. That's why we got other people on this earth to help us.
Yeah.
We all need other people. Please, please, miss me with it. Miss me with it.
Which is why I don't do the one-on-ones. You know, people say they want to talk to me offline. I give you, but don't make this no regular thing, right? I'll talk to you for, like a one-time thing, because I'm not looking to be nobody's coach.
Savior.
I do the group sessions, but that's a group thing where we're all sharing, right? So it's not just no one's just looking to me. Like, we're all giving our perspective, and everyone's inspiring, helping. So everyone's sharing their success stories, and everyone's giving their tips and their tricks and their way of thinking, and it either resonates with you or it doesn't, but it should make you want to go within and know your power and how it works for you, not to figure out how they manifest, but to figure out how you manifest, because you've been doing it all your life. And a lot of times it's just being how you think of you.
How do you get into the group? Like, I tried to subscribe, but it was too complicated. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, you know what? I realized that TikTok, they changed it from subscription based to super fan. So I was trying to keep it on TikTok because it was easier for guys to come up and talk, right? For you guys to call in, right? And we could talk like this. So I don't know. We may go away with it because TikTok decided that it's going to be $9.99. So they set the price. I didn't. And instead of making it subscription based, they call it super fans now.
What?
And it's only for the lives. So when I go live and it's just members only, they're calling it super fans now. And so people are just going to have to tell me, do they want to continue? If you want to continue with the Wednesday, because Wednesday night thing, we'll continue with that way, where we only want members only. If not, then we won't have it anymore, and I'll just continue to do it this way.
We could just go. We could just go to Discord.
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 But Discord is it's not, you can't hear people, right? You're just talking.
No, it's like a video call, like FaceTime.
Oh, you can do video call on Discord?
Yes.
Oh, I have to look into it, because that's another app I have to learn. You know what I'm saying? That's another app I have to be on.
You gotta set up the link. You gotta set up the server. You gotta,
right? Because I do offer it on YouTube, and YouTube didn't change my pricing there, so it's the same price on YouTube. The only difference is, I would have to figure out how to get a call-in link with them, or you would just ask questions in the chat like I used to do. I didn't have people coming up on my panel, and you would ask your question in the chat, and I would just speak to you directly that way.
See, I tried to do that. You didn't answer me.
But that's because now I have a panel. I didn't used to have a panel then.
Right, that makes sense.
Right. When I didn't have the panel, Mia will let you know, I would answer just about every chat.
Right.
I would my eyes would be strictly on the chat. That's what I did. But now that I have the panel, my eyes aren't on the chat anymore, because I'm talking to people. So I try to give my attention to the conversation, right?
Right.
Unless someone's like telling a story or something, then I can kind of look and see what people are saying, right? Because it's really not a conversation. It's really people just sharing their journey or sharing their success story, right? So then sometimes I can kind of not give my full attention to it. But if we're having a conversation, 9 times out of 10, I'm not looking at the chat. Yeah, but when it's just me and no panel, then my eyes are all chat.
Right. That makes sense, because the story really don't require full engagement, because only one person is talking anyway.
Right. Yeah. But I do have subscribers over on the YouTube, and so if the subscribers go away on TikTok, I am still going to do it on YouTube. And if you decide you want to come over to YouTube and just ask questions in the chat there, and then I speak to whatever your questions are, we could do it that way. Because that's how it used to be. People would just comment in the chat and I would just speak to that. And so, you know, it could go back to that way. So we'll see. Or, you know, some people may feel like $10 is not a big and they want to continue to do it. And if people feel like $10 is still worth, because I will still come on Wednesday at night, 7 p.m. And if people feel like, yes, they're willing to continue being a super fan, then we'll continue that way.
Okay. So we should go to YouTube?
Yeah, you can go to YouTube because I will stream on YouTube. So
Okay.
I'll stream on YouTube. I do it simultaneously. So I'm streaming on TikTok and on YouTube
At the
at
same
7 p.m. Central Standard Times
Wednesday.
on Wednesdays, and there is $4.99.
Okay.
So I have 2 levels on there. I have the gold, which is $4.99, and I have the 99 cent, which is you get to watch the recap of the members.
Mm.
So if you can't make it and you just want to see, because it'd be some gems, people have come and said some really nice stories that we already given some. So it is a really nice time. And so you can listen to the recap for 99 cents
Okay.
a month. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be subscribing to their YouTube.
Okay, cool.
We'll be doing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Sandy, yeah, I don't know when it comes to I would think TikTok would have a way like YouTube does where they will convert wherever, you know, whatever country you're in and convert it. Because, you know, you have people from all over the world watching TikTok, and you know, United States is the bomb.com. Everybody trying to do what the United States doing. So I don't know how, you know, I know with YouTube I think they automatically convert your currency. I don't know how TikTok does it. Because I thought you paid through like PayPal with TikTok. And if you have a PayPal, you should be able to pay for it. Or if you have your whatever you have your phone set up, you know, some phones have wallets, right? And if you have a credit card attached to your wallet on your phone, you should be able to pay it that way. No, so every time I go live, so you will be paying once a month, I still believe. But they're making it one tier. It used to be because I had to go and look up. I had to go look it up because I didn't know what people were talking about, this super fans. Because Gigi came back and said it was super fans. So I was like, super fans, what is that? So I had to go look at some videos on TikTok to find out, well, what are they talking about? What is super fans? So super fans phased out subscriptions. So the subscription community is still there, but it does not apply to lives. So it only, like, if I made videos just for those who are subscribing to my page, you will be the only one that could watch the video. But when it comes to the lives, they're calling that super fans. And TikTok is setting the price. The creator is not setting the price for that now. And they give you these stickers and they give you these different things, and that's, to me, that's all I know right now, unless, you know, I'll try to dig into it a little bit more to see. But to me, that's what I gleaned from it, that TikTok is setting a price. You don't get to have tiers anymore. And so they're doing away with the subscription-based lives. They're calling them super fan lives, but it's still once a month. So instead of the $4.99, they're making it $9.99. But that's for every creator that does a members only live. Any creator that does members only lives, TikTok is saying that the price is $9.99. Because I did watch one guy, he said he had 3 tiers. And he said most of his members was at the lower base tier. And he said for the first 3 months, you'll still get to pay that original fee. So like those who are joined, you're still going to pay $4.99 until I think the 4th month. Then the 4th month is when it changes. But anyone, I guess, that may become new that may be a new member, a new super fan, they'll be charged $9.99. I think that's how it goes. Oh, thank you, exclusive. Oh, you don't have PayPal? Okay, yeah. Wednesday, Glaze Innovations. Only Wednesdays. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. When I do the manifestation group sessions, that's the members only live. The 7 p.m. Only on Wednesdays. Like this live is open. Everyone gets to see this live. Yeah, it's only on Wednesdays when we do the group sessions and we're only talking manifestation. Yeah. But if you guys just want to do it on YouTube, we could just do it on YouTube and not do it on TikTok. But again, with YouTube, I haven't set up the option for anyone to come up onto the panel or to call in. Mia said, no, keep it on TikTok. I mean, it's on both. It's on both, you know. It is on both. I do stream on both platforms. I do. Okay, well, we'll keep doing it on both. We'll keep it this way, you know. We'll keep it this way. But like I said, I will be streaming on both platforms. So if you want to go over to YouTube, it'll still be this setup. You'll still get to hear other people talking on TikTok. And if you have a question that you want to ask on YouTube, I will, you know, give space to answering that question. Or I'll give the question to the panel and maybe someone else may want to answer it. So, but Wednesday, 7 p.m. is when we do the group session. Did you have anything else you want to say, Mia? Before I'm about to go watch my football.
No, ma'am, I'm about to start watching some football myself.
You're in Dallas, right? Oh, Houston.
Houston.
Houston. Oh, do you like the Cowboys? Because we play the Cowboys.
Yes, the Cowboys is my team.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. So we battling each other today.
Yes.
We got the late game. We got the late game.
Hey. So yes, that'll be exciting.
Oh, thank you, exclusive Chrissy. Thank you. You just turned your TV on? Okay. I don't know how to do that, Sandy, on YouTube. I don't know. I will have to, because when I was looking into it, it was like, it just seemed complicated. Because I got to try to figure out how to get a number, how to send the link. It just seemed like, why you just can't be like TikTok, YouTube, get with the times. I shouldn't have to create a whole nother telephone number. And then I got to figure out how to send the telephone number to the people. And then they got to figure out how to connect the It's just too much. I like simplicity. It's too much on YouTube. Like, you got to create this number and then you got to figure out how to disseminate the number. And then I got to try to figure out how to work the number on YouTube. When it's so simple on TikTok. It's just so simple. It's so... Hey, Gigi. Hey. I'm getting ready to go, Gigi. I'm about to go watch some football. But yeah, TikTok just be changing things. So, but you know, we like it. We like TikTok. So you know, we'll keep it. Like I said, I'll stream on both platforms, and we'll see if maybe it's not as complicated as I'm thinking it is. You know, I just don't want to have to do all that. Have to try to get a number. Then I got to try to figure out how to disseminate it. Then I got to try to figure out. Then if you're like, well, I'm not, I don't know how to get the bugs out. I don't know how, you got to send this number and then people can come up and talk. And I don't, I've seen other YouTubers do it. They're usually the larger, platforms. They usually have like 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers. So they have the call-in feature, because they usually have, a great number of people watching their lives. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked yet. Yeah, but I don't get a lot of people on YouTube watching. Not the members only. The members only. It has no one has yet to be in the members only on YouTube. Everyone is over on TikTok. That's why I haven't did it, because no one is on YouTube. I stream it on YouTube and I have members on YouTube, but they have yet to come to the lives on YouTube. Everyone is over here on TikTok. So, you know, everyone is over on TikTok. No one's on YouTube. So we'll see. We'll see. Because you actually have to say that you're going to be on YouTube. But everyone's over here on TikTok. So and so Saturday we'll be finishing up the book, Busting Loose from the Money Game. We'll be reading chapters 13, 14, and 15. That's what we'll be discussing. Chapters 13, 14, and 15. Most of those chapters are based on application of the processes that the author has come up with to, he calls it reclaiming your power, or remembering your power, or remembering that you're the creator of all your experiences, realizing that anything that's happening, you put power in a thing outside of you, so you're taking that power back. He has, and he has success stories regarding that, the implementation of, of those processes. And so again, if it resonates with you, use it. If it doesn't, keep doing what you're doing. Figure out what works for you. That's what it all comes down to. Figure out what works for you, and trust that the thing that you desire desires you, and you already have it. Oh, okay, Gigi. Have fun. But you can always, if you want to rewatch it, you could watch. You could watch it on YouTube. So, yeah. And so hopefully I catch you guys. We'll see about tomorrow, if I come back tomorrow. Oh, you are welcome. So until we meet again, guys, thank you so much. And Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is the manifesting group. So again, I'll try to look more. If you have more questions about the super fans, I'll try to delve more into that, because the thing is, I guess I have to go on. I have to find out what TikTok is saying, not what creators are saying, because sometimes you get a mixed bag, what the creators are saying versus what TikTok is saying, what their rules are regarding the super fans. And when they said the transition started September 15th, so that's when they transitioned. Instead of calling it sub only lives, they're calling it super fan lives, and they're setting the baseline for the price, not the creators. The creators did not come up with the price. TikTok did. So they decided how much it would cost. That's good. Okay, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.